Hey, I want to welcome you to this free emergency web class. We're actually talking about the future of YouTube today, 10 threats to your growth in 2026, and the 5 strategic shifts you must make now. I know this can kind of sound like a lot of hype, but you might have felt this. Views seem to be disrupted. Are videos still getting the same views that they used to? We're seeing like shorts disrupting the home feed. We're seeing people saying the algorithm is shifting and it's harder to stand out. Well, this web class is going to help you. We're first going to identify the biggest threats because there are some big changes, but then we're going to look at the opportunity because there's some strategic moves you can make right now to stay ahead and really give you a deep dive playbook for what's working on YouTube right now. Here's the truth though. The old YouTube is dead. And the problem is most creators are actually still playing the old game. We're living through a massive shift on the platform right now. For example, subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. It's true. It doesn't matter if you have tons of subscribers. They don't guarantee views. AI is separating winners from losers. Creators that are using AI intelligently are getting an advantage over everybody else. Information overload is paralyzing creators. Maybe you feel it. We don't want to just be consuming everything. There's so much information. We want the right information. And so this class will help you navigate what's changing and give you how to win on YouTube right now before everybody else catches up. Because here's the truth. Yes, there's threats. Views are down. Ad revenue is unstable. Trust is eroding. But the opportunity has never been bigger for those who know how to pivot. Now, if we're just meeting, my name is Sean Cannell, and I've actually been on YouTube since 2007. I'm coming up on 20 years. And I've actually seen every shift the platform has thrown at us. But over the years, I've grown a couple different channels to over 100,000 subscribers and even over 1 million subscribers. And I've also had to reinvent again and again, from the adpocalypse to algorithm shifts to the new AI-driven era. So really, if you stick with me today, I'm going to be showing you a clear roadmap for how to win on YouTube over the next 12 to 24 months. In fact, we're going to cover a brief history of YouTube. And this is important. Before we look forward into the future of YouTube, we're going to learn some lessons from the history of YouTube and what it teaches us about adapting. We're going to look at the 10 biggest threats facing creators and business owners today, the 5 key shifts shaping YouTube's success in 2026 and beyond, and then also how to apply these shifts to get more views, build more trust, and grow your income, even if your niche is small and your views are down. And this presentation, lock in for about an hour. We have power-packed information for you, but I also, at the end, will hook you up with a report that goes even deeper. So I did a 27-page deep dive on the 12 threats. There's a few extra ones, and the 15 shifts shaping YouTube's future. This isn't about wasting your time. This is about like real tactics for those that want to make a big impact with YouTube and also earn big income. And this is your complete playbook to stay relevant, adapt faster, and grow smarter. And there's no fluff or anything in this. So again, stick around and I'll tell you how you can get that for free a little bit later on in this class. And then also heads up, the one thing we have coming up at Think Media is our mastermind. We are actually doing a 2-day in-person event in Las Vegas, happening May 7th through the 8th. Spots are extremely limited and it's application only. But if you go to thinkmediamastermind.com or click the link in the notes or the show notes, you can learn more about that. But just wanted to give you a heads up because if you want some help, you want a community, we're here to help you when it comes to YouTube and applying all this information. We've broken today's class into multiple parts. Welcome to part 1. Change has always been a part of YouTube. So let's look at a brief history. So when we think about the future of YouTube, the truth is every season of YouTube has brought new threats, but also new opportunities. And success on the platform has never been about it just being the same or stable. It's always about pivoting and adapting. So let's take it back. If you were to start YouTube back in 2007 and 2007 to 2011, that's the Wild West. Now you might dream about it and be like, man, I can't even imagine if I would have had that head start and there would have been so much less competition. True, but there was also crazy challenges during that era. I actually started YouTube for my local church in a small town an hour north of Seattle in 2007. So I was on YouTube, I'm watching YouTube. So yes, there was fewer creators, lower competition, simple vlogs, could even get millions of views because there was less competition. However, There wasn't even really a partner program. Monetization wasn't established. It was in its infancy. Tech was horrendous. Like oh man, tech is hard to figure out today. In 2007, the videos I was making were with a mini DV camera, with mini DV tapes. I was capturing over FireWire. The tech has gotten so much better. AI tools are helping us go so much faster. So it's like we always can say the grass is greener on the other side. It's like, well, not necessarily. The grass is greener where you water it. So yeah, there's some opportunities, like less competition, but like there was tons of challenges. And we call that the Wild West. Then we went into the rise of the algorithm. This was 2012 to 2016. So YouTube actually shifted from favoring just clicks to watch time. This was a huge shift because clickbait really started on YouTube when you could game the system. You could like say Justin Bieber in your title and the video wasn't even about that, but you actually could get a lot of views because the platform was based on click-through rate. And what they shifted to was like, oh, we want more viewer satisfaction. Are people actually consuming the video? That's why watch time, audience retention really became the core of the algorithm. So channels built for clickbait collapsed, while those delivering depth and retention exploded. And then the first adpocalypse also happened during this time. And so when you think about this idea of ad revenue being unstable, some of y'all might not even remember, you weren't around for the adpocalypse, because some ads were showing up on like these sketchy kid videos and all this weird stuff. Advertisers started pulling their dollars from the platform. It was like total chaos. So sometimes it's like we think about our present day of being like, man, everything's so disruptive and YouTube's so hard. It's like, welcome to life. Like history repeats itself, And so every season comes with threats. Every season comes with opportunities, which brings us to the production era of 2017 to 2019. You could also call this professionalization, because what started happening then is YouTube started to mature, brands started making channels, media companies started forming, creators were more established, they started hiring teams. And so solo creators found themselves competing against studios. And really the bar raised, and that's something to pay attention to, were things like packaging, your titles, your thumbnails, your editing started to become more important. We started seeing like, oh, the quality of content production is rising. So if you want to stand out, doesn't mean a new creator with limited resources can't do it, but you better get some skills. You better up your production. You better invest in your learning. You better get some good lighting, even if you're just shooting with your smartphone. And so that was the production era. Then you had the pandemic boom. That was crazy. A lot of people started YouTube in the pandemic, which is, by the way, over now. But like lockdowns drove historic growth. So it was interesting. One, we were all panicked because like, what's happening? March 2020, lockdown orders. How serious is this? But what's so wild is like, I know different channels had different experiences. Our baseline views on Think Media, we get around 128,000 views every single day from a library of ranked videos on our Think Media channel. Our baseline views doubled during the pandemic, which is kind of logical because all of a sudden people had nothing to do. They're like, I gotta go to work. I'm at home. I might as well get on YouTube. I might as well start searching for things. And a lot of creators, it drove historic growth. It also, some people got confused. They were like, maybe you were doing YouTube during the pandemic. You're like, I don't know why my views are down, because everyone went back to work, Jared. It's like, it's a different era. The pandemic, it actually probably went longer than 2021 because there was kind of that long tail, but audiences were stuck at home. So actually there's different eras where CPM surge, and creators in some sense rode an artificial wave of attention. It was a bubble. It wasn't a baseline. But let me just encourage you. It's like the reason you should start YouTube or recommit to YouTube or go all in now is because you want to be positioned when these global events happen. You can't predict the future, but you can position yourself for the future. Let me put it this way. When Think Media blew up in 2020, it's like I had been learning to swim for 10 years, not realizing the world was going to get flooded. Like It blew up because of the work I did previously. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? Learn how to rank videos now. Learn how to position videos now. Learn how to get your channel positioned now, because I've wrote, this has actually been my journey on YouTube. You're like, what's it been like? Up, down, up, down. I'm just writing it all. I'm prospering in the valleys, adapting, on the mountaintops, looking at the next thing. Views were, and I'm not delusional about it too. I was like, okay, views were up and they also went back down. People went back to work. YouTube goes through different eras. Commit to the long haul. Next, 2022, massive change. YouTube did add shorts. Of course, TikTok had vertical video, Instagram Reels. When YouTube Shorts launched, TikTok really pressured YouTube to do shorts, creating new winners, meaning new channels that started growing fast, destabilizing old formats. And this emergency web class is pretty important because I don't know if you've seen your homepage lately. It's kind of like chaos. Like, why is it all shorts? Like, where's the long form videos? Why is like the first 6 things on my mobile phone shorts? They're always testing and changing things on the, why is there shorts on my smart TV? Is anybody else outraged? Like, listen, fragmented viewership. Shorts, big opportunity. Also kind of weird. Fragmented viewership. Discovery skyrocketed. Yes, if you put out some good shorts, you can get a lot of awareness. But loyalty is harder to build with shorts. Depth. And now creators have to juggle multiple formats. Do I do shorts? Do I do long form? How do I balance my time? I've got answers for you in this web class, but this is just looking at the history. And then let's go present era. You have the AI and attention wars of where we are now. So now 2024 into 2026, AI supercharged production. It is easier to make content. I know it still takes work, but AI is helping us go faster. It triggered a tidal wave of content. There's a whole subcategory of AI only channels, getting demonetized or even getting shut down. But I'm talking also about just AI itself helping us script faster or, edit faster and empower any creator to just produce more content better, still being themselves. So the bottom line is those who leverage AI are getting an advantage over everybody else. You probably already know that, but I'll prove it to you. And at the same time, authenticity and personal brand are even more important because all of us are tired of AI slop and we're tired of fake stuff. So the bar is being raised of using these new tools. Dabblers are being drowned out. Professionals are winning. People who learn, people who study. And this era rewards clarity, strategy, bold positioning, and authenticity. And it's the attention wars, which brings us to this next point. But right now, there's 20 million videos uploaded every day to YouTube. So how do you get attention? How do you stand out? We're going to continue to cover in this class 10 threats. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. But we're going to talk about the 5 strategic shifts you can make to make this your best year ever on YouTube. And so here's what we could take away from the history of YouTube. Change is the only constant on YouTube. Here's what I can guarantee you. Sean, can you predict the future? I can. What's going to happen on YouTube? It's going to change. What's the future of YouTube? Change. I know we wish man, I feel like I just figured things out and they moved the goalpost again. Welcome to life. Welcome to YouTube. But those who continue to adapt and learn and win, they just have to understand change is the only constant. So those who pivot and adapt will always find a way to win. But it brings us to part 2 of today's class. And that is the top 10 biggest threats to growing on YouTube right now. And we're going to cover these first. I know it might get bleak, but stick around with me to the end. Because again, we got to look at the threats first. And this helps us actually adapt, right? So here we go. The top 10 threats. Number 1, subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. Subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. The truth is this. I've seen channels with 50,000 subscribers only get 50 views on their video. And I've seen a channel with 500 subscribers get 50,000 views on their video. This actually is kind of an opportunity because if you're just starting from scratch, content is the variable. The algorithm will push individual videos at this point in YouTube, but it is a threat because you just can't bank on the audience you've built yesterday, because ultimately YouTube is based off the interest graph, not off of just your subscriber or the community you've built. People are clicking on topics they're interested in, not just following individual creators. And so your subscriber count really doesn't matter. You should still get subscribers and they can still be loyal. Depends, like if they're, engaged. But the truth, if you're taking notes, it's worth writing this down. Every video has to win on its own merits. Every video right now on YouTube has to win on its own merits. So if you feel uncomfortable, like I don't get why I upload a video, it gets 500 views, and then I upload a video, it got 5,000, and then my next one got 50. What's wrong? Individual videos are winning on their own merits. And just because you have some subscribers, no matter what the account is, it's just a different era. Now, again, this might sound like bad news, but it actually is leveling the playing field. And if you're an established channel, your invitation is to reinvent. Because the truth is, on YouTube, again, we want to keep upping our game, learning packaging, learning these other things. I think we hear this a lot with the people we coach. It's just like, Sean, my views are down. And the question is, are you doing the same thing you were doing for the last 2 years with no change, yet still feeling like your views should be what they used to be? It's like you got to reinvent yourself. So every video has to win on its own merits. And here's what's fascinating. There's been a lot of videos like this coming out. This was from Linus Tech Tips, who actually mentioned that they have seen a drop in views on their channel, some as much as 75%, which is crazy. Like they've seen their views drop 75%. And they continue to follow up with this topic, talking about like, is it because of shorts on the feed? Is it because of even channel memberships and like people who see those videos, like it being too cluttered? Is it also that we just need to improve our game? And they put out a lot of different theories. Is it ad blockers? Things are changing. Things are shifting. The bottom line is this is a strategic shift every creator needs to be aware of. They're an established channel, Linus Tech Tips. Subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. But here's what we're still seeing. And we see this every single day with our students. People are still breaking out with having breakout videos. Our students are getting 24,000 views, 555,000 views, starting from scratch. Jamie Morgan at our recent Think Media Mastermind did a quick interview on stage. In the last year, she got her silver play button from scratch. She filmed straight through using her smartphone videos, like with no editing. She starts and turns it off. I'm not oversimplifying what she's doing. She's really got strategic and mastered packaging, but she is starting from scratch. Subscribers don't matter, quote unquote. Every video has to win on its own merits. But let me ask you, have your YouTube views gone down or up recently? Have your YouTube views gone down or up? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. And later in this session, we're going to unpack the cure for this and some strategies to help you bounce back. Number 2, AI is creating winners and losers. Threats. AI is creating winners and losers. The truth is, most creators are just dabbling. Like, just because you use ChatGPT doesn't mean you really know how to use AI. AI is evolving fast and you really need to master it. Check these stats out though. So 3 insane AI stats, a 40% boost in productivity. Here's the full quote from Harvard, MIT. Top tier consultants boosted their output by 40% with proper prompt training. Okay, so it's you versus another creator, you versus your competitor, you versus actually the person who started before you, but they got a little bit lazy. You're deciding to start YouTube this year, but they're kind of resting on I'm kind of resting on my audience. I'm kind of comfortable. Happens a lot, by the way, because YouTube can kind of be tiring. So some people like, I've done this for a while. It's like tortoise and the hare. They're the hare. They're like, I've won a little bit. I'm going to rest and take a nap. If you get really smart with AI right now, you really master prompting, you will have a 40% advantage of productivity over people who aren't willing to do the work and learn AI. Let's look at another stat. 56% faster. GitHub Copilot users finish coding tasks 56% faster. That same leverage applies to video editing, writing scripts, automation, thumbnail design. World-class thumbnails are on the other side of a few clicks on AI, even if you don't have design skills. But you still need AI skills and prompt skills. And then 300 billion hours saved. That came from a research study that said AI is saving 300 billion hours of global productivity. 300 billion hours. So you're like, Sean, I want to do this YouTube thing, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got a couple kids. I'm trying to juggle work. I've got a full-time job. You got to use AI smart. It's not going to do everything for you, but AI is creating winners and losers. And I know, by the way, you could get romantic about it. Like AI, what are the ethical implications? You know, what if it turns into the Terminator, it gets sentient? You know, I mean, the good news is if that happens, time travel will get invented. You know, you send back, Sarah Connor, right, to save John Connor. Sorry, like Terminator reference. And that's a whole sub issue. All I'm saying is like, you should use Claude to like help you script. And it doesn't mean you're going to be inauthentic. It's just that if you use these tools right, you should be doing deep research. What would it have used to have cost you hiring a research person or hiring someone on Fiverr can be done in 25 minutes with deep research and make your video 100 times more powerful. The research is good. Like, these tools exist. So AI is separating winners and losers. And not only that, listen to this. Scientific American found that ChatGPT's verbal IQ score was 155, which would place it in the top 0.1% of humans. Meaning you could never be that smart. And that was a 2 years ago version of ChatGPT. Like, at some point it becomes math. Like, cognitive ability is a real thing, meaning like IQ score. And guess what? AI is smarter. Now, AI can't do emotional intelligence. It can't do a lot, at least yet. It can't do a lot of these different things. I also think that AI is overrated. You still need to learn human psychology and master your own things. And it doesn't actually make you less cognitively involved. You're leaning in even more. You're still present, your own voice, your own authenticity, but you have the chance to work with a super genius mathematically with an IQ score, especially in terms of like the mechanical aspects of IQ, research, etc. And by the way, speeding things up like time codes, chapters, YouTube descriptions, SEO, like all kinds of things in the YouTube workflow. Okay. So AI is separating winners and losers. And if you don't lean into this, you're going to get left behind. So those who master AI will dominate, dabblers will disappear. Threat number 3, ad revenue is unstable. The truth is ad revenue is all over the place. We looked at the history of YouTube, ad revenue is all over the place. YouTube creators say, this was an older article from Forbes, but they said their video revenue dropped 90% in one moment. So it's just realizing that if you're like, I want to start a YouTube channel so that I can have security and just have like a predictable career that has no change, it's probably the wrong thing to start. Like, you might want to, and especially if you're banking on ad revenue. Now, what is cool is if you get more sophisticated in terms of like building out your own business around YouTube, you can stabilize the absolute insanity that is YouTube ad revenue that could be up and down or even demonetized. You know, there is a massive opportunity for faceless creators, YouTube automation, using AI, and there is a way to do it. However, in this recent, we did a big video about it. It blew up. We had a student, somebody that's in our coaching program. This is wild. They're making $30,000 a month in YouTube ad revenue. Okay, with the Bible channel that's telling these Bible stories. It was all AI, and they got notified, you're demonetized. Now they're able to appeal it, and they're switching up their content, and they're applying some of the new best practices, and they're doing some things. But you want to talk about unstable? You know what I mean? Imagine, you might be like, that would be 30,000. What were they even doing? I mean, it was a team of people that are like working on this channel. They were making $30,000 a month, and it disappeared. Now they're going to reapply, and they also had diversified into some other things. And it doesn't mean they hadn't built a brand and this had grown to 500,000 subscribers. What is the point? The point is this: a threat to YouTube is ad revenue is unstable. Ad revenue is awesome, but it's also unstable. If the platform controls your paycheck, you are vulnerable. Threat number 4, lazy content no longer works. Lazy content no longer works. Listen to this. 86% of YouTube videos get fewer than 1,000 views. The median views per video is just 35. Okay, so you might say, Sean, see, that's because the competition is just too much. It's not. It's because actually most content is lazy. That might sound harsh. What does lazy mean? I actually don't mean like your internal effort, like even the amount of hours you spent. I just mean the amount of craft that, let's put it this way. Most videos that are uploaded on YouTube out of the 20 million uploaded every day are actual crap. Like some of them are just total garbage, like someone's dog, smartphone. Now you might be like, that's kind of offensive because I put a lot of effort. My point is, you got to improve your game. You got to up your game. And it doesn't have to be at some elite level. Here's the math. If you get into the top 10% of uploads, you could do this part-time or full-time. And it could be a very lucrative career and very high impact. Because the amount of consumption on YouTube is outrageous. But the bottom line is the bottom 90% of content is just so flooded with low effort content. I don't mean fancy editing or anything like that. Let me put it this way. There's two different types of people. Let's say they start a video podcast. And we've probably all seen this. Maybe you have a friend who's done this. One person, they go, you know what? I want to start a video podcast. I'm going to like have like my friends on and we're going to like just talk, you know? So we'll like hit record, no hook, no plan. We like share our feelings. Maybe there's a theme, maybe not. Hit record, no opening, shoot the breeze for 60 minutes, turn it off, upload that garbage on YouTube. And then they're like, I don't know why this doesn't work. That's creator number one. Creator number two sits down. They're busy. They only have a few hours a week, but they sit down and they actually like create a brand and create a strategy. They identify a target audience. They think about what's the value that I could actually solve for this target audience. They actually craft and spend some time preparing their episode and think about what would the title be? What would the hook be? How would this be organized? How could I honor the viewer's time by not just talking randomly for 60 minutes, but actually putting some effort into this? They then record that episode, maybe no editing. Hey, in today's episode, I'm going to bring you, they give you some value. Like, by the way, this is a straight through episode. I'm not editing this. I hope you could tell I put a little prep into today's episode. And so it's just two different creators. That's what I mean by effort. A little bit of effort can go a long way. Most people are like posting and praying. I'm saying we have this resource called the 5-hour YouTube work week. It doesn't have to be like years of preparation. I'm just saying the average video is getting stuck at low views because lazy content no longer works. There's just too much content out there. You got to rise above the noise. You don't need a big budget or fancy gear, but you need a plan and a strategy. And I'm shocked by how many people are doing YouTube feeling entitled to views, and they really don't. They either don't have a plan and strategy or they have a weak plan and strategy. Hit subscribe on the channel. Will help you improve those things on the journey. But number 5, threats. We're just talking about 10 threats. We're in an online trust recession. This is a big deal. It's worth writing down. We are in an online trust recession. You need to be aware of this. So check this out. 41% of Americans believe that online content is completely accurate and human generated. Only 4 out of 10 people believe that online content is even accurate or human generated. So 6 out of 10 people think that online content can't be trusted, and they think that AI is just making it up. That's a trust recession. In 2026, things are different. People are more skeptical, lower trust. Like it's not the wave it used to be. Like, this is so novel and cool. We have access to videos on the internet. Trust is way down. 75% of people say they trust the internet less than ever. 80% of consumers say they distrust influencers. They view them as dishonest, inauthentic, or lacking transparency. Well, so you need to know the environment you're in. This is a threat. So it's a trust recession. So number one, you never know how people are going to judge you. You might actually be very honest, incredibly authentic, and transparent. And someone will be like, I think you're fake. You know, people are going to have their own opinions. But you can already see some action items in here. You need to double down on authenticity. You should really double down on honesty. And transparency is a good thing as well. Okay, right? It's also aware that I'm going to have to work a little bit harder to earn trust in today's world. And I should assume people are skeptical. And I should assume people are kind of on their back heels like, okay, what's your angle? What's like, you know, what are you doing? What are you selling? Do you really believe in this brand? Did this brand just pay you? I think even knowing what is happening in the minds of people will change the whole tone of your videos. But we're talking about threats. We are in a trust recession. Bottom line, if you don't earn trust, you don't get clicks, you don't get views, you definitely don't get conversions in your business, on your channel. Threat number 6, fragmented attention is pulling audiences apart. Why are views down? Because your audience is not in one place anymore. Because people are not in place anymore, in one place. Now, check this out. Let's go on a journey together. So you got YouTube and you think, okay, why are my views down? Like I'm even putting out my best videos. And you might be, by the way, your content's not lazy. You've been working harder than ever. You've been getting better at packaging and your views are still down. Well, consider the environment. You're putting out your best content, but audiences are fragmented. What do I mean? It's not just YouTube. Some people, they're out here clicking on YouTube Shorts first and their long form consumption is down. However, they also might be in neither of these places, but their favorite place to hang out with you is podcasts, or they're over on Spotify or Apple and they're listening to podcasts. Furthermore, some people like watching live streams, like at the moment of recording this, like this is live right now. We're doing a live free class. Okay. But that's just YouTube. That's like assuming people are listening to YouTube video podcasts, YouTube content. Meanwhile, they're not even on YouTube. Somebody's moved over to TikTok. They're spending some time rotting their brains on that chaotic platform. No, whatever. Let me know if you're a TikTok fan. People are over on Instagram. People are over on Spotify. People are over on Facebook. But that's not it, right? Your views are down because someone's on Amazon Prime right now watching, Fallout Season 2. Like someone's over on Netflix. Podcasts are uploaded to Netflix now. I mean, it's not like anybody can do it, but did you know they launched podcasts in January 2026? Which is a big signal that of what's happening in video podcasting and podcasting. But then people are on freaking Tinder. You're like, why are my views down? Because someone's swiping left and swiping right on a dating app. You know what I mean? Like fragmented attention. People are on ChatGPT. There's still massive consumption of some questions, but also some questions people are talking to ChatGPT about it. They go and then by the way, they're bouncing all over the place. So you have, especially if you're established, you just might be like, why are my views down? You probably have a lot of loyal followers or some people in your core audience, whether you have 10 true fans, 1,000 true fans, or 100,000. It's just a different era. Someone's like, oh yeah, I was ChatGPT. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, you have a live stream? Because they're everywhere. Let me know if you can relate to this. You're like, yeah, I watched Fallout last night, Netflix this morning. I have a date tonight with someone on Tinder. I am ChatGPTing things. I'm still watching some videos. It's just, this is 2026, y'all. And so here's the truth. You don't need to be everywhere, but you do need to know where your audience attention is actually going and plan for that. I want to encourage you. We actually have a different channel. Like this stream is happening on our Think Media channel, but make sure to subscribe to our weekly Think Media podcast, because we're actually doing a series on video podcasting, and that'll come out very soon. If you're subscribed or you already know about it, it's a different channel than this one. It's called Think Media Podcast on YouTube and also on Spotify. And we're actually teaching on video podcasts. Why? Because you don't need to be everywhere, but you need to be where your audience is and plan for that. And the reason I just want to put a little asterisk here is video podcasting. I'm obsessed with it because it's a format that allows you to be on YouTube, clips on Shorts, be on Apple, live stream if you want. Many of our students that have video podcasts, the raw episode is live first, and then they take the audio, they put it on Spotify, they put clips on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and they're not really doing anything on Tinder with that content or Netflix. Their podcast is on Amazon. It's on Audible. Like your podcast could be distributed to Audible when you use something like Buzzsprout. And YouTube is the reference layer of the internet. It's kind of a bar that I won't go into here, but it's true. So AI is referencing YouTube. And so even getting recommended in ChatGPT when you're organizing your content, here's the bottom line. You don't need to be everywhere, but you do need to be where your audience attention is actually going and plan for that. Just personal opinion. A strategic video podcast is a really smart thing. And we are going to be going super deep and helping you with that. Subscribe to our other channel called the Think Media Podcast, and more coming on that. Threat number 7, Information overload is paralyzing creators. It's getting worse before it gets better. Threat number 7, information overload is paralyzing creators. You and me, we're buried. And I know actually, I talked about lazy content is, just not making it. But I know if you're watching this, I don't imagine you fall in that category. I would guess you're ambitious, you're goal setting. I mean, you're listening to a long form educational web class. And so it's not that you're lazy, it's that you're overwhelmed. I feel the same, right? Information overload is paralyzing creators. Let's look at some actual hard data about this threat. In the workplace, 38% of employees say they receive excessive volume of communication at their work. Do you feel this way? Messages, alerts, emails. Now, if you're here live, I'm actually curious. Tell me in the chat, how many text messages on iMessage do you have? How many emails do you have on your inbox? And we're going to give an award to the person who has the most. I don't know if we'll actually do that, but do you feel the excessive messages? This is just, consider this. The person you want to subscribe to you on YouTube, what's their daily life like? Like, you want them to watch your video, they're getting bombarded with text messages, notifications, emails. Sean, I have notifications turned off. Good idea. You probably should have push notifications turned off on your phone. So, okay, somebody's inbox has got 783 emails that's here live. Who else wants to volunteer? 17 emails. These are beginner numbers. You're way too organized. You sound like an inbox zero person. 716 iMessage. Well, let me just flex and show you the reality of my life. So there's my iMessage, 3,807. Like, why is Sean bragging? Here we go. Here's some real, there's some real numbers. Patty, congratulations. 86,697 emails. That's some real numbers. 222,000 in your AOL email. Annie, you are a legend. And so 120,000. Victoria, maybe you could get me ready with the Think Media support thing. Ticker, because Annie is getting a free copy of my book, YouTube Secrets. Annie, congratulations. We want to mail you a copy of YouTube Secrets, the updated second edition, honoring and rewarding the fact that you've got 222,000 emails in your inbox. Congratulations. I don't know why we should reward that. It just proves the point that information overload is a real thing. So we need to be aware of that, right? So yeah, again, just reach out to the email. We did just put it on screen for you, but thinkmediasupport.com. We'd love to mail you a copy of that book. But here, let's go a little bit deeper. Workers face the equivalent of 174 daily newspapers worth of information every day. So throwback, my dad, Sean Cannell, cappuccino drinker. I'll never forget his order at coffee shops. Bone dry cappuccino. And then he'd actually give it to me. I'm like a kid. He's like, he'd go, it's too heavy because there'd be too much milk in there. He wanted like only phone, bone dry cappuccino. And he was a newspaper guy. So he'd get his coffee. He'd read his newspaper. He'd read one newspaper, right? Slowly reading through it. Birds chirping, spring air, simpler times. Today, every day in the workplace, we face 174 daily newspapers worth of information. Every single day. What's the action item here? You taking the time to honor audience's time by your preparation, by your organization. That's why the person winging their YouTube videos, anybody can just wing it for a live stream. People are busy. You want to build a reputation? Write this down. VPM. That's a 2026 shift we need to make. What's it stand for? Value per minute. Value per minute. What's the value per minute density of your YouTube videos? Value per minute dopamine hits, value per minute comedy, value per minute jokes, moments of laughter, value per minute it's not boring, and then educationally, value per minute of an insight, value per minute of getting through the content, value per minute of how dense is this. Now, by the way, vlogs, experience, show me your process. But like the top creators are thinking about the value per minute of a video. And lazy creators are like, let's just talk for an hour. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to make things simpler for people. And if you're a content creator or a business owner, you're also, you think about you're dealing with this, and so are the people you want to reach on YouTube. You're dealing with overload. So thumbnail scripts, SEO, editing, AI tools, it all stacks up fast. So here's the reality check. All that info isn't bringing clarity. It's bringing confusion and overwhelm. So you want to build a strong brand in 2026? Bring clarity to the chaos. Add value per minute to your content. Massive thanks for you, hanging out with me for an hour and a half by the time, but hopefully what you're seeing is the density of a value per minute in a training like this. It's why I took the time to build a whole deck and slides and put 30 hours of research into the report that I'll give you in a few minutes. Threat number 8, YouTube success is a moving target. YouTube success is a moving target. What worked last quarter might be obsolete. So continuous learning isn't optional, it's essential. We've already hit this, but that's one of the threats. What's the answer? I'm committing to continuous learning. I'm accepting the fact that I can't just learn YouTube. You know what I mean? I learned it. I'm good now. Let me roll. It's no, lifelong leaders are lifelong learners. So we just keep learning, keep testing, keep pivoting, keep repeating. Number 9, burnout is killing momentum. This is kind of crazy. We see this every year, and we've seen it across the years. Look at this. CNN, YouTube burnout is real. Creators are struggling to cope. NBC News, creators are mitigating burnout with long-form YouTube videos. Another article, why so many major YouTube channels hosts are quitting and what it says about media. Another article, extreme outdoor YouTuber stops making videos partly due to fame. So here's the answer. One of the threats is burnout is real. How do I do this sustainably? So we need better habits, better routines. It's possible. I'm coming up, for what it's worth, on 20 years on YouTube, and I'm still here. I don't know, for whatever that's worth, but it's not by accident. I mean, we could do another episode. Maybe I could talk about it. Why, whether that's life routines or family routines or spiritual routines or health routines or taking different seasons. We need habits. We need routines. We need systems that support mental health, not just growth. Here's threat number 10. The noise is only getting louder. The noise is only getting louder. As if all these threats weren't enough. On average, there's over 20 million videos uploaded daily to YouTube. That's 13,000 videos every minute. To put that in perspective, by the time we've gone through this slide in my deck, hundreds of videos have been uploaded to YouTube. So standing out isn't just harder, it's non-negotiable. We got to figure out a way to stand out. You've got to find a way to stand out. And being different on YouTube isn't optional, it's survival. Now, you might feel like this, right? After these 10 threats, you might be saying, why did I even watch this class? YouTube is a blood sport, bro. And honestly, sometimes it is. It's competitive, it's exhausting, it's unpredictable, but it's about to get good because inside of every single threat is actually an unfair advantage waiting to be claimed. Inside of every threat is an unfair advantage waiting to be claimed, and every challenge carries within it the seed of equal or greater opportunity. I want you to really capture that one. It's worth screenshotting, picturing, or writing down. This is a real truth. Inside of every challenge, there is a seed of at least equal, if not greater opportunity. If you approach YouTube with an entrepreneur mindset, you understand that entrepreneurs solve problems for a profit. So if you approach anything, including YouTube or life, with an entrepreneur mindset, then you actually start seeing problems as opportunities. So that's a major mental reframe, because you might say, Sean, I got 99 problems, and my YouTube channel is one of them. I got 99 problems, and my girlfriend, I got 99 problems. Okay, relax. I got 99 problems. An entrepreneur says, I got 99 opportunities. All right. Inside of every challenge is a seed of equal or greater opportunity. So let's get into part 3. What are the shifts? What is the massive YouTube opportunity in the midst of all of these challenges? Is it still possible to break on YouTube? Is it possible to start from scratch today? Answer, yes. Let's look at them. First, what's the state of YouTube? 2.7 billion monthly active users. 2.7 billion monthly active users. Try to wrap your head around that number. Billion with a B, not M, not million, billion. 2.7, 1/3 of the world's population watches YouTube every single month. So is it possible to build a community, even a small community, that could support you working from home, you impacting people, you staking your claim of a little bit of real estate on YouTube? You know, there's this article called 1,000 True Fans. We had a guest on the Think Media podcast that said, honestly, it's 500. You have a dedicated community of 500 people. Community is really a big edge, way more depth with a small group of people than trying to go wide. There's 2.7 billion monthly active users. So while a lot of people will sit on the sidelines looking at how impossible the situation feels, if we have the right mindset, we're like, man, there's hidden opportunity in every problem. That is a massive audience. I just got to figure out how to reach it. And the truth is, you can reach them from a laptop in your home office. Like, that's what's crazy. Now, also, YouTube is the #1 most watched streaming platform on TV. YouTube is consumed in more living rooms in the US than Amazon Prime, than Netflix. YouTube is a massive platform and it's free to upload on. So it continues to assert its dominance. You just need one video to break out. We say that you're only one video away because we have too many case studies proving it. It might be video 17, it might be video 37, and all of a sudden, boom, holy crap, the video got 77,000 views. It got me 2,300 subscribers. I qualified for monetization from one video, and my back catalog was activated by people discovering the channel. And people are watching on TV, they're watching on, of course, smartphones, but YouTube is the #1 most watched streaming platform, according to Nielsen, beating Netflix, Hulu, and cable. And 1 billion hours of YouTube is watched on TV every day. That was a 2025 stat from the CEO. Now, Marcus Sheridan said this: YouTube is quickly becoming more important to your brand than your website. So if you're a professional, YouTube is non-negotiable. He said the deeper quote was, the next 5 to 10 years, YouTube will be more important than your website. YouTube is like a place you need to establish yourself as a business owner, as a coach, as a service provider, as a coach, as a course creator. And so, I mean, it's not that websites are irrelevant, and websites and funnels still have their place, but like YouTube is like the home base. It's the hub. It's like, my question is, where's your YouTube content? Where can I go get to know you a little bit? Where can I go learn about your point of view, your unique processes, your proprietary process, your framework, your ideas? Where's your YouTube at, bro? Where's your YouTube at, Sarah? I'm just making up a name, you know, like it could be anybody, but it's like if you're a pro, you're on YouTube. Like if you're serious about your business and your brand, you're on YouTube. Like, it's like, what do you mean you're not on YouTube? Like that's what Marcus is saying here. Now, internationally, YouTube has localized versions in over 100 countries around the world and over 80 languages. This whole new auto dubbing thing, they just released some stats about it. So it's like you could be uploading videos in English, and then YouTube, at a very high level of quality, starts translating that video and making it accessible in other languages. And the opportunity of just starting a YouTube channel not in English all around the world, also true. Now check this out though. Yahoo Finance said the creator economy is the fastest growing segment of small business. And then this came out. YouTube's paid creators $100 billion in the last 4 years. Hang on. Let's rewind the tape. What'd you just say, Sean? I said that YouTube has paid creators $100 billion in the last 4 years. So what we're seeing is people underestimate the long tail opportunity of YouTube. What they think is Mr. Beast got all that money and nobody else did. That's false. It is true that at the top echelon of YouTube, of course, disproportionate amount of millions of dollars go to big creators. But most people don't understand the long tail of YouTube. What does the long tail mean? The long tail of your average everyday creator that earns an extra $12,000 a year, an extra $32,000 a year, an extra $61,000 a year. That's not YouTube millionaire money, but that's life-changing, especially if you get to work from home and do what you love and maybe get out of a job or a rat race or a commute. And so that is real money. And this creator economy thing is real. It's not my opinion. It's what the data is saying. And that's also one income stream, meaning that's only saying what YouTube has paid creators, not your affiliate links, not your own products, not your own brand. That's what YouTube partner program has paid creators in the last 4 years. So smart entrepreneurs see a wave coming and they find a way to catch it. It's like, whoa, competition is fierce, but this thing is crazy. And here's the big question. Where is it going in the next couple of years, though? Have we plateaued? Is it on the decline? Did we hit our peak? Is YouTube now on, going backwards? Well, here's a report from Coherent Market Insights about the creator economy overall. And here's what it reveals. It reveals that the creator economy is actually set to quadruple in terms of the total addressable market, the funds, the money in the system, over the next 7 years. So right now it's about a $200 billion industry. It's going to grow to over $800 billion between now and 2032. So it's 2026 as we speak on this emergency web class. So Sean, where's the creator economy going in the next 6 years? Well, anybody you see, Think Media, Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, Alex Hermosi, whoever, like the creator economy right now is worth around $200 billion in the total addressable market. I mean, and that doesn't even cover everything. That's like, we don't have to overanalyze the math right now. This just gives you a trend of like, okay, you know what I mean? Like they don't know necessarily like the customers that people get from their YouTube channel. That speaks to like software companies, YouTube paying 100 billion, all those different types of things. Okay, cool. So if the creator economy total addressable market as we speak is 200 billion, and over the next 6 years to 2032, it's going to grow to 848 billion, then you just have to say, okay, is this a plateaued, shrinking, or growing industry? It's a growing industry. And so get positioned right, plan out, your strategy. Here's the conclusion. Smart strategists, we're not ignoring the threats. We covered 10 of them, but we're also not paralyzed by the threats. We see the opportunity and it's massive. So the real question is what to do with it, which brings us to part 4. We're 53 minutes into this class. You're a real one. I don't know if that triggered you to jump off or triggered you to double down. Let me know live in the live chat if you're enjoying today's content. And hit like on YouTube because I put a gazillion hours into this presentation. Number 4, the top 5 shifts YouTube creators that are winning are making right now. We got to the real good news of the opportunity. Here's action items. Here's what you can do immediately to trigger views, start your channel right, grow your plateaued channel. I got 5 key shifts. And then remember, I'm going to give you a free guide later. That actually, I know it sounds crazy, but there's actually 12 threats. There's 15 shifts. It sounds insane. It's probably, it's worth it. It's a lot, but I'm going to hook you up with that. And I think you'll love it. Strategic shift number 1, income can be up even if views are down. Number 1, income can still be up even if views are down. So we talked about the threat, Sean, but views are down or subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. True, but check this out. Income can still be up even if views are down. Here's the mindset. The right views are more important than more views. Because by the way, if you were like, I'm going to start a shorts channel and I'm going to start doing a particular type of content that's prone to be viral, you could get a lot of views. It actually doesn't necessarily mean you make a lot of money. And also, if you really wanted to like have a high, let's say, business impact with like serious individuals for your products and services, then yeah, you got a lot of vanity metrics, but you didn't necessarily get any impact because again, a smart business model is also a lot more impactful than YouTube ads. The right views are more impactful than just more views. And a smart business model, diversifying away from YouTube ads, is the answer. Let me give you one example. I'm not saying you're doing real estate. You're probably not. But we serve a lot of real estate agents in our community. A lot of real estate agents are in our coaching or come to like our mastermind. Now think about that though as a business model. So they have YouTube channels, but how much money do they make if they get a customer? Well, if they get a customer that wants to move to a new area and like buy a home, it is very common that their commission could be $2,000, $5,000, over $10,000, or a lot more. So then you might say, Sean, how many views do I need on my YouTube videos? Answer, you might only need 1 view. Now stick with me. No matter what kind of content you're creating, I want to break your brain. What you're trying to get 1 million views. What if you only needed 1 view? Because 1 view could be worth thousands of dollars. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to do real estate, but what I want to get the gears turning in your mind is, what could your business model be so that even if your views are down, your income could be up? So let me give you a case study. One of the people in our accelerator program, which is our one-on-one coaching program, her name's Stacy Tuchel. So she's a business growth expert. She had a couple dance studios. And after running those dance studios, she realized one of her skill sets was actually teaching operations itself, because ops crush business owners, systems, hiring, firing. So she created a company and YouTube channel called Well-Oiled Operations. Now, her YouTube channel is going incredible. I mean, 6,000 subscribers. But if you look at her videos, 615 views, 900 views in this screenshot, like, we're not out here being like, whoa, she's going viral. Okay. So you're like, wow, her views are down. Her views are actually doing great, but it's like, it's not crazy views. All right, well, let's dive a little bit deeper. Her business owners, though, focusing on the right views, not just more views. And she did a live stream. And a live stream back in 2015 she did was called Annual Planning That Actually Works, Mission, Vision, and Strategy. She talked about things for 55 minutes. And here's how many views it got. It got 736 views. But here's the back end numbers. 1 YouTube live stream. On the live stream was the opportunity to book a call. And on the call, her sales team closed a $30,000 offer. Now, you might be like, that sounds like a scam. It's not a scam. You need to relax. Like, she serves small business owners that are making like $250,000, like $300,000 a year, top line of their businesses. So that's a huge investment, but she like knows her processes work to help people scale and get their operations right. Nevertheless, like $30,000. So let's look at the numbers. And I want you, even if you're like, I just don't know how this would apply to me, or I don't know, it's going to change your life if you shift your thinking and stick with me, because let's break this down. YouTube views to sales revenue. Why did this work? Well, content offer alignment. She attracts high revenue business owners ready for premium strategic solutions. Interesting. So who are your YouTube videos attracting? And what exactly is it that could happen on the back end? Like, I would rather take, first of all, I'd rather have, if you said, Sean, do you want 1,000 YouTube Shorts views or 100 long form views? I would take 100 long form views all day, because you're going to have a higher quality, more depth. And then it'd be like, do you want 1,000 17-year-olds who just want to watch prank content? Or do you want 100 business? You get the idea. Who are you trying to attract? How are you positioning yourself on YouTube? What industry are you in? So that's how she's positioned. Now listen to this. She made $30,000 from just 736 views. The value per view was $40.76. That's 6,000 to 40,000 times more value per view than what YouTube ads would pay her. By the way, 736 views, YouTube ad revenue is like nothing. It's like $4. So you understand what I'm saying. And you can do this. There's different higher ticket affiliate things you could do. You could do JVs. You could eventually create your own thing. The big takeaway is, even if your views are down, your income can be up. And here's something that Stacey also said. She said, while direct sales actually happen from her channel, it also, her primary focus is brand awareness. This goes back to why it says your YouTube channel is more important than your website in the next few years. Because it's like, if you want to build a brand and like have people get to know you and position yourself, YouTube's the best place to do it. So she's like, why am I on YouTube? I'm lifting my brand. I'm creating consistent content. And it's also cool that sales are happening in my business. So action item, figure out the business you're building, not just the content you're making. Lean in on this. Figure out the business you're building, not just the content you're making. Number 2, we're talking about the 5 strategic shifts to make in the midst of this YouTube crisis so that you can crush it over the next 12 to 24 months on YouTube. Master video packaging or get ignored. Strategic shift number 2, master video packaging or get ignored. So what's packaging? Here's the equation. Packaging is topic plus title plus thumbnail plus the hook. And that equals the first 30 seconds of trust in your video. You've got to master video packaging or your content's going to get ignored. So you're selecting the right topics, you're writing great titles, you're creating great thumbnails, and you're tying it all together in what people see when the video starts. Let me illustrate this. So one of our students, Ben Azadi, he's the founder of Keto Camp, and the main thing he teaches is health. He went through a massive transformation himself back in 2008. He was 80 pounds overweight, very unhealthy, and he was stuck, but he took control of his life. He got metabolically healthy, and he started a YouTube channel where he committed to helping others do the same. Now, he's actually been doing YouTube for quite a few years. He joined one of our programs quite a long time ago, and he grew to a certain place, but he plateaued. And that's what a lot of people are feeling in the YouTube crisis. They plateaued. Well, he's been able to break out. What was the pivot? Video packaging. Taking his video packaging game to a whole nother level. Because like every smart creator, when he plateaued, he had a choice. He could stay stuck at the plateau, or he could pivot and master new skills. And packaging is what he quadruple, Constantinople down on how important packaging is. Okay, let's look at some examples. So look at some of the videos that have recently come out on his channel. He's got a health channel. So if you look on the right side of the screen, what happens if you only drink water for 72 hours? Concept, title, look at the thumbnail. He's got a picture of his face, got this kind of animation thing, this body reset to the six pack, 1.9 million views. Title, topic, thumbnail. Okay, look at the center one. Doctors won't tell you this. What happens when you stop eating for 36 hours? Crazy, but it works. It's got a progression in the thumbnail. There's a lot of micro details here. 2.6 million views. His channel was plateaued before pivoting into really mastering packaging. Now, let's get in a little more controversial. On the far left, 36 dangerous foods RFK Jr. just banned. The level of intelligence behind that video, because by the way, you might be like, I'm offended. I don't know how you feel. Meanwhile, Ben Azadi might be like, whatever your opinion is of this video, I see you in the comments, but I never see you at the bank. You know what I mean? Like he got 3.6 million views. That video in AdSense alone probably made 30 grand. So you've got 36 dangerous foods. Now he's tapping into a trending person. That's a strategic idea. He's tapping into a little bit of controversy. He's tapping into the thumbnails crazy, right? And he got 3.6 million views, 405 views per hour. The big idea here, friend, is master video packaging or get ignored. You got to take your title game, your thumbnail game to a whole nother level. But let's even go a little bit deeper. So this is a video Ben posted. No editing, no script, filmed straight through, filmed it in his car. Okay. Became one of his fastest growing videos. But let's lean in on something. Sometimes you might think, oh, it accidentally happened. No, the topic and the title is elite level. Let's read it. Give me 12 minutes and I'll save you 17 years of trying to lose weight. Ridiculous. Let's break it down. So why does this title work? Time versus outcome. In the title. It's not just the title too, it's literally the concept. So it gives you a short time commitment. It's only a 12-minute video, but it's going to save you 17 years. Like irresistible. I'm going to save 17 years. Now, again, you obviously have to back that up, but this is what Ben has been living as he literally his dad actually passed away from a form of diabetes that really motivated his mission for health. His own health was in disarray. He's been on a whole mission himself. He's taking it on YouTube, but you're asking yourself, man, how do I package that next level of video? Now, also ultra clear promise. It speaks directly to a pain point, years of failed weight loss, which many experience. And it offers a solution with confidence and specificity. There's also curiosity and urgency. Makes the viewer wonder, how could you possibly deliver that result in 12 minutes? And it implies you're wasting time if you don't watch this, because it's only going to cost you 12 minutes and could change your life. And there's a no fluff vibe. So what I'm not saying is you have to go to some crazy level of it's because you have the best camera, or it's because he just was filming in his car. But master packaging or you get ignored. I'm not saying just go film in your car and start your video. So what do I want to talk about today? I don't really know. What I wrote down, you're sitting down to think about, okay, I know what my topic is. I know what the title is. I know what the thumbnail is before you press record. Even if you just riff, talk for 8 minutes, 15 minutes. So packaging itself is the edge. And listen, raw content works if it's packaged right. This raw content of him just, flowing in the car, that's authentic. It is just truly him. How could it not be? He's just riffing he told me the story too. Like when you're engaged with your community, you're listening and you're listening to feedback. This is a really good time to press record when there's a fire in your soul. Meaning some days you're just checking the box and trying to get a video out. That's discipline. It's not bad. But when you feel it, you might want to change your schedule. When you feel it, you watch the news. What the heck? You get passionate, press record. You maybe have a difficult relationship you're in right now. It's so frustrating with that person. That thing happens, start writing your script. Something happens at work and you're like, man, that's why I want to see more health and safety in the workplace. Film in your car. So there's something about capturing that moment of energy. And that's how he filmed that video. It was actually in response. I think he got done at an event talking to somebody and he was like, man. And then that raw packaged authenticity and fire mixed with the fact he'd been studying, elite YouTube best practices with Think Media for 5 years, helped him just spit out a video that absolutely crushed. So raw content can work if it's packaged right. And here's the shift. Views aren't dead. They're just hidden behind the right packaging. Remember I told you if you want to win on YouTube, you just got to get into the top 10% of uploads? Yeah, views aren't dead. The right packaging will help you rise above the 90% of people who suck at packaging and don't want to invest the time to learn. You can learn it. Shift number 3. Personal brand is the only differentiator left. Personal brand is the only differentiator left. With 20 million daily uploads, content is commoditized. We know that. We could get information almost anywhere, right? And so how do you be different? Answer. You. How do you be different? You. I got memed once. Somebody made a video making fun of me. It was kind of fun. They said, I say things like this. They said, I go, you need to be you times 2. I've said that a lot. And then the person was like, yo, Sean Cannell here. You need to be you times 2, but I'm going to be me times 3. I'm like, that's kind of fire, bro. I was watching it. I don't know if he's kind of funny. I saw this video. I'm going to be me times 3. I'm going to be your times 4. Okay, relax. But you need to be you times 2. Okay. You got to double down on your personal brand, on your uniqueness, on expanding the authentic parts of you, but that can be packaged and presented in a brand online because it's the only differentiator. At some point, it's going to be your humor, your stories, your stoicism. You don't have to have somebody else's person. There's people, I think about this financial channel that I like. And the guy, he's kind of dry humor, but no jokes, super dry. Videos are 8 minutes. He reads off a script. A lot of different formats can work. He's figured out his format. And so ultimately your personal brand is your only differentiator left. And listen to this. This is probably the most important part of the class. This will give you an edge. Because years ago, people warned me. This is some of the things I've learned about personal brand. And what they warned me about was they actually were saying, Sean, you should be careful, talking about your faith online. Okay. Maybe you grew up that way. Someone said, don't talk about religion or politics at the dinner table. Don't talk about religion or politics at Thanksgiving. We don't talk about money at the table. A little bit of childhood trauma, things you're able to say. And so what people said is they said, don't bring up religion or it'll hurt your brand. Okay. And let me be honest. They were partly right because there's sometimes, the reason we have Think Media is 99% helping you with the best tips and tools for building your influence with YouTube and online video. If you've been around, you probably realize that. But if you've been around for a while, you've also probably realized that occasionally, just because it's who I authentically am, my values of family or faith come up, right? And so as those things have come up, the truth is I have lost some subscribers. And I polarized some people. But here's the fascinating thing. what I've gained and people that resonate with what's unique about me far outweighs the few subscribers I've lost. And that's my challenge for you. And I'm going to back this up with some data in just a second, but let me give you a case study, for example. How do you make original content that doesn't exist on YouTube anywhere else? That might sound impossible. And in some cases, by the way, competition isn't bad. If you're going to make a sourdough video what somebody else has, you should make the video too. But this video you see on screen, I would argue, is like one of one. There's nothing else like it because it's really weird. 3 YouTube tips from the Bible that will work for every creator. It's not a tactic. It's a weird expression of just who I am because I'm obsessed with the Bible. Like, I actually spilled water on my Bible the other day, so I was drying it today. I was drying it with a blow dryer, so I don't have it next to me. But like, it's part of my daily routine. This isn't even about religion in terms of this moment in the video. This is about you thinking about what makes your brand unique. But how can you weave that in to your niche when you feel like there's so much competition? This is why people maybe have one of two opinions. They're like, oh yeah, Sean's that guy that I wish you would have talked about religion. Or they're like, dude, that's my guy. Like, he's a Jesus guy. Yo, that's my homie, And so this video got 60,000 views. And here's the takeaway. What I lost, a couple negative comments, a few unsubscribes, what I lost in passive followers, I gained 10x more in deep connection. So this is what a real brand does, is a personal brand doesn't just attract, it repels wrong people so the right ones can go deeper. That's a very powerful truth. The fear is maybe like, if I bring up religion or if I bring something up, I'm going to lose some people. You probably will. But if you just stay neutral and you never stand for anything and we don't know what you stand for and you don't bring out any of your personality, listen, information is everywhere. So what are a few of those things? And that doesn't mean it has to, maybe you always keep your faith private. That's totally fine. But there's an argument to be made in 2026 that bringing out some of those elements in some controversial areas, whether that's politics, whether that's beliefs. By the way, end of the day, we do follow people based on values. And let me prove it to you. Let me go deeper on this point. Listen to these facts about brands. And these brands could be brands like Patagonia or Supreme in clothes, whatever, right? Abercrombie and Fitch. Why do you wear what you wear? Listen to this. 70% of consumers say they buy from brands that reflect their values. 7 out of 10 people, who they're going to spend money with is based on also the values of that. The people who really are loyal to Patagonia, the fact they recycle the clothes, the fact they give back, low carbon imprint. Like, people don't just love the vibe or the look or the quality. They're like fanatical about the brand. 7 out of 10 people buy from brands that reflect their values. 75% of millennials and 63% of Gen Z would change a brand to support a cause they care about. And 84% of people globally report the need to share values with a brand to use it. So apply that to your YouTube channel. There's somebody watching one of your competitors right now. If you would actually talk about causes you care about, millennials and Gen Z would switch to you. That's what the stats say. 7 out of 10 people buy from brands that reflect their values. Do I even know your values? Now you might say, Sean, listen, I'm just doing like homesteading and sourdough bread. Well, by the way, there's probably more values than you think coming through your videos, but I'm asking you to actually amplify that in 2026 because it's the only differentiator left. I'm not saying it's 100% of the video. If you're teaching something in a video, it's maybe 10%. But where are your stories? Where's the little nugget about your values? Where's those little things about you? So I'm like, oh, I'm not just getting information from this person, because all of us will watch a one-off video probably from anybody. But do we follow them loyally for years? No. We're like, that was a cool video. Seems kind of like a jerk. Oh, I didn't really resonate with that. Like, I'll learn from anybody. I'll like sit in the front row at every conference and take notes, and I'll learn from anybody. Like, there's something we can all learn from anybody. But some people I'm like, oh, it's not my vibe. It was a good session, few takeaways. But there's certain people, they're like your people, right? It's because of brand. It's because of values. It's because of what's underneath the surface. So let me encourage you. Personal brands are the only differentiator left. You got to triple down on your personal brand this year. Have you defined your values? Have you defined your mission? Have you defined your core values? Even if you don't necessarily articulate them, if they're not written, they're not real. What do you stand for? What do you believe? What are your deepest convictions? And it doesn't have to be necessarily religion or politics in every piece of content. But if I don't understand your personality, your convictions, or who you really are, then I can replace you with AI. And if I don't, like, let your beliefs, your quirks, your style, your voice come through in your content, because people connect with people. Now, by the way, we actually have this crazy tool called the Think Media Brand to Content System. And what's cool about this is it's a proprietary tool, kind of like that video I just showed you. Like, that seems so weird, but it did get 60,000 views. And think about like the level of people I connected with, like other Bible geeks and stuff, and like 3 YouTube tips every creator should know from the Bible. Like, it'll help you create those types of ideas. Now, this is a tool that we share. We actually do a whole half day at our mastermind in Vegas. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later, but just FYI, the big idea is this. And you, like, here's what I would encourage you to copy, or if you want to just come to Vegas and join us, this is one of the things we're covering. What even is your brand DNA? That's work you should do. How can you generate magnetic video ideas that are unique to you? Because you can, if you figure out your brand DNA and then apply that to content. And then how do you align that with business growth? thinkmediamastermind.com is, if you want to apply for our mastermind, where we go through that actually together in a workshop format. But this is the future, is actually having your unique brand or personal brand defined, and then putting out unique content to you. Huge way of how you stand out in the midst of the noise, because your personal brand is the only differentiator left. Okay, 2 more shifts. Authenticity is the antidote to AI fatigue and the trust recession. Is this a super session today? I'm 77 minutes into this class. I've completely destroyed my times. This was going to be like 60 minutes. I hope you're getting value. We're here for the long haul, y'all. We're partying. We have 2 more shifts, and then I'll bring Victoria back. And then also, we're landing the plane, but we actually have quite a bit more to cover. These last 2 shifts too are important. Strategic shift number 4, authenticity is the antidote to AI fatigue and the trust recession. Remember our threats? We're fatigued by information overwhelm, AI, deep fakes, all that stuff. And there's a trust recession. Well, what's the key? Authenticity. It's the only cure to the trust recession. So this is actually Carrie. So Carrie started YouTube just over a year ago. She illustrates this point. So she helps women in their 50s. She's a coach in her 50s. I think she positions herself as helping women over 40 with money, mindset, and movement. And after just 10 months, she actually got stuck. She felt super stuck on YouTube. Her channel plateaued. Most of the days, her numbers were actually going backwards. But she really started to master packaging, number 1, working with our team. But she started to really like think about this thing of authenticity. Like, am I showing up, being my authentic self and getting aligned with the right strategic videos, the right topics, the right titles, and then continuing to post content and show up as her authentic self on the videos? Well, one strategic video changed everything. And this is what's interesting, is you're 1 video away. This singular video, when she felt plateaued and stuck for about 11 months on YouTube, a singular video brought in 3,500 new subscribers in just 30 days. The whole channel boosted, 338%, got over 100,000 views. And so she's living proof that you don't have to start early, because this all happened recently. You don't have to be tech savvy. And by following a system and having a little bit of strategy, you could break through. But here's a big lesson that illustrates this point. Authenticity is the antidote to AI fatigue. What's she doing? She's being herself. She's showing up, not fancy video. She's just showing up as herself, being herself. And listen, y'all, you're already very valuable. Like, we're all valuable in God's eyes. But here's what I want to say. You're like a rare asset in an AI world. You know what the new premium is? Real people who show up on camera on videos. I mean, for real. Like, this AI wave is a real thing too. Like, we have a class coming up inside of our program about YouTube automation and AI. I think it's a big opportunity if you don't want to be on camera. But listen, humans showing up on camera is about to become the new like rare artifact. Like, and people who learn how to, again, counteract the fact that most people think influencers are dishonest, inauthentic, and lacking transparency. And that's what I love about Carrie. She's honest, she's authentic, and she's transparent. And so, yes, the system, and yes, you don't have to be tech savvy. She was just using her phone, but also authenticity. And YouTube works for business owners and creators because it builds trust at scale. So what is it we're doing as we're making these YouTube videos and we're leaning into authenticity? It's because there is a trust recession. And so it's so important that we are connecting authentically with people, because if you never build trust, you know the quote, people will only do business with you if first they even discover you, how to get discovered on YouTube. Then they have to decide if they like you or not, at least enough in one area. Like, oh, I like that person. They helped me achieve a result. But it's no like and trust. How do I even know who you are, start to develop a relationship with you, but ultimately trust you? And we don't do business with people we don't trust. Like, so for example, I got a text message from one of our real estate clients. He said, we've received multiple very high quality leads. We've had 8 appointments in the last 30 days. That is massive. By putting himself out, allowing YouTube to be a chance where people could connect and get to know him, just being authentic and strategic with the other shifts, and leads like crazy are coming into his real estate business. Here's the big idea on this one. Audiences are flooded with content right now, but they're not fools. Their BS radar has never been sharper. That's 2026. So authenticity is the antidote to the trust recession and AI fatigue. And this is an interesting trend. Stripped down vlogging is back. Stripped down vlogging is back. And so I actually wrote a book called YouTube Secrets with my friend Benji Travis. And one of the things, or what he does on his channel, he actually has he has a channel with his wife that's a vlog channel, and he has a food channel, specific niche, but it's vlog style. It's stripped down vlogging. Check this out. 94,000 views, 1 view per hour, 22-minute vlog shot with the DJI Osmo Pocket. But a lot of interesting things happening here. Good packaging. TNT Supermarket is a searchable thing that can get suggested in the algorithm. The first ever TNT Supermarket in America. There's some buzz around that. And so the bottom line is, one of his recent uploads was a simple trip to the grocery store, no crew, no cinematic editing, just Benji filming himself, commenting on what he sees. Now, he's developed the skill of adding a lot of value in his videos while just being authentic and really extemporaneous. As he drives to the venue or wherever he's going to film, he's thinking about packaging. He gets there, films through it linearly like a checklist. But what it shows is, listen, raw content, authentic content, vlogging, massive opportunity right now in 2026. And the video idea was strong. It spoke to his niche and it was packaged smartly. But even more than that, it felt real. So it was relatable expertise and storytelling. So we're seeing two extremes perform on YouTube right now. We're actually seeing, this doesn't invalidate big budget stuff. We are seeing big budget, thoughtful storytelling, or it doesn't have to be big budget, but I just mean like really edited, like retention editing, like you've invested time in the video, you've slowed down, and maybe you make 1 video every month. Like some channels are doing that, like tons of editing, tons of scripting, tons of polish. That's kind of an extreme that's still doing well on the platform, crushing. But then on the other end of the extreme is like raw, relatable vlogs that are they're not disorganized. They still have mastered packaging, but they're just that different, relatable. What's kind of getting squeezed is you don't really want to get lost in the middle here. Like, it's kind of like picking a lane. And the nice thing about the raw, relatable vlogs is the volume is a little bit easier because the format doesn't take a month to put out a video. And so if you're posting more frequently, each video strategic, you're like, oh, that video popped. That video didn't. No big deal. I'm just committed to the workflow of the raw and relatable. Here's the bottom line. People don't trust perfect. They trust real. People don't trust perfect. They trust real. 2026, authenticity is the cure for AI fatigue and the trust recession. Strategic shift number 5. And if you've been getting value today, hit like over the last 85 minutes. Melissa and Victoria are like, where even are we? We are lost in the waters of the longest live stream. And we're not even close to finished. Strategic shift number 5. The Cure for burnout is smart systems. Remember one of our threats? Sean, there's been a lot of content like, is this sustainable? Am I going to burn out? There's a cure. It's called smart systems. And so one of my favorite quotes comes from James Clear, and it's this: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. What's a system? It's your daily habits, your routines, and your checklists, so you don't have to wing it every time. So what is the shift to make in 2026 is like, if you're like, okay, I can overcome these threats, I can get in the top 10% of uploads, I can learn these skills. A question should be how is this sustainable? Answer: daily habits, routines, and checklists. When you're not panicked by trying to get results on YouTube in the next week or a month, you're like, how can I be in this in the long haul and sustain and stay healthy and not just wing it every time, but make this a repeatable system so my stress goes down. I've got more peace and I can sustain this over the long haul, because I'm not just thinking about what results my YouTube channel can get in the next 6 months. I'm thinking about the opportunity in the next 6 years of building a real brand and a real financial asset and a real high income asset. I think about Codell Keels. He's a full-time PE teacher, busy, husband and a father, and didn't have a film crew, didn't have tons of time, full-time job, wanted to start something on YouTube. And he discovered Think Media, and he said, Think Media made me believe I could start. And so he actually, this is interesting. He thought about doing fishing, I believe, if I remember the story, or doing gardening. And half of his choice of his niche was sustainability. He thought, shoot, if I do fishing, it's going to take more drive time. It's going to take more, like, I have to go get to the water. I got to get in the water. I got to bring the gear. Gardening, I got to do in my backyard. Your choice of the format, of the niche, of the kind of content you do on YouTube, starting an unsustainable content format is probably unwise, because we just defined in the name of it that it's unsustainable. Okay, so what's a sustainable YouTube strategy, and what are the habits and the routines and the systems? So on a class like this, he's like, Think Media made me believe I could start. And this is what's possible when you stop making excuses about timing and you start following a system. So he actually went through one of our trainings. He actually jumped into our program, and he follows our 7-step system, but it gave him a repeatable process to do in his backyard with his content. And so the big idea under this one, so you have something to take action on. Because again, of course, you're like, bro, you're pitching your product. No, listen, you know that that's our vibe here. Sean's always talking about, of course, I'm going to let you know I have stuff, but even if you never join one of our products, you need a system. If you don't use our system, you need a system, because we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. If you don't want to burn out, you need a system. You need habits, routines. The cool thing is we built one, and we're happy to share that with you. But ultimately, like, he stopped making excuses. He started and he followed a system. Now check it out. Today, his channel is at 173,000 subscribers, 20 million views on the channel. And he started this is over just the last couple of years. No industry connections, no fancy gear, no head start, just a smart system. And burnout happens when you're winging it. Consistency happens when you follow a system. So let's recap what we've learned today. YouTube is always evolving, adapt or fall behind. YouTube is always evolving. You either adapt or you fall behind. We covered the 10 biggest threats and how to beat them. If you're just jumping on, if you want to watch this, there will be a replay. Like, catch it all. Make sure to take notes, get it all. Actually, I'll also give you a download that'll reinforce all this in one ebook format. But the data shows the opportunity is still massive. Not Sean's opinion. That's the facts. And we talked about 5 strategic shifts to win in 2026 and beyond. But here's the bottom line. Knowing is not enough. I want to know your biggest aha moment in the live chat if you're here. I want to know what the action item is. You might be like, I don't even remember what you said, bro. Was it one of the threats that stood out to you? Was it one of the 5 shifts? This was a very tactical class. In fact, I'd love to know your feedback if you like classes like this, and if, like, is it too dense? Perfect. Sean, keep bringing content like this. But knowing is not enough. And listen, we're on a mission to help 1 million purpose-driven individuals create a full-time living doing what they love with YouTube. Okay? And so if you just take notes, but you don't take action, you're not going to get results. So that's why I'm asking you, like, what is the action item for you? Sue said, determine my new YouTube schedule for filming, editing, and uploading. Yeah, schedule, system. I like it. Amplify your values in your videos. That's a good one too, Beth. I like it. Credibility and authenticity is the only differentiator left. Amazing, Susan. Yeah, authenticity is a key. Really good. Yep, this is good. We need to adapt. Yeah, adapt or die. Create a plan. Beautiful. So I also want to know your action items. Like, what action items are you going to take? Because YouTube is not about what you know, it's about what you implement. So let me ask you a simple question. What if you had a system, a strategy, and support to actually execute this? Would you want that? Yes or no? Because, just a heads up, we have an event coming up. And in response to all of these shifts, in response to the threats on YouTube, you know, we are constantly, of course, helping people with YouTube, and we have a coaching program, but we're doing an in-person event in Las Vegas, May 7th through the 8th. It's limited to only 80 people, small room. We have roundtables you can see on screen where you get to actually meet with our Think Media staff. We get in a circle. You're talking with Craig, you're talking with Kyle. We're talking about packaging. By the way, if you're a business owner, you know, we get into a circle, you talk to our ads. We do paid ads at Think Media. You talk to Jeffrey. We're talking about funnels. We're talking about offers, talking about business, but we're talking about YouTube, and we're dialing in your personal brand and your personalized brand content. So here's the thing. You can apply to be a part of this event at thinkmediamastermind.com. And here's why this is different. You actually leave the event with a strategic content plan personalized for you. You get coaching and feedback on the spot. We have smart AI tools that are just given to this group that comes to the mastermind, proprietary private tools. You get networking and support, and you get a full system for consistent growth. And here's the thing. You might have been trying to do YouTube alone. That ends at the mastermind. Now, it's extremely limited availability. There's only a few spots that remain. And when you attend, we hook you up with a signed copy of YouTube Secrets, 2nd edition. You get personalized coaching and live feedback at the event. You get the exclusive AI tools and templates. You get connected to a private network of serious business leaders and creators. And it's a 2-day workshop and all the materials. And so there is an application required, thinkmediamastermind.com. Real people, real results. And it's happening in Las Vegas, May 7th through the 8th. And it's limited to 80 seats. So tickets are already selling. It's filling up quick. The last one sold out. And so we do have to cap it eventually. So you want to go to thinkmediamastermind.com to apply. Now, also in 20 minutes from this exact moment, we can answer some questions. We're going to have Victoria back in a second. We are doing office hours, and you can actually meet with our team and jump on Zoom, and we'll talk to you right now in the next 20 minutes. We'll open up office hours if you're interested in learning more about this mastermind. But thinkmediamastermind.com is where all the details are for this. And listen, it's so transformational. I was just talking to a couple people from it. One gentleman said just the conversations he had at lunch were worth him flying to Vegas to be there for the event. Another lady said man, I've been a successful business owner, but I've been kind of lacking the confidence and the plan in the system to start putting myself on YouTube. That completely, I'm totally confident now. I'm totally clear. And then, by the way, if you're more established, listen, let's get in a small room together. You want to talk about like next level ninja masterminding around your YouTube strategy? Come hang out with us in Las Vegas, myself, the coaches, the Think Media team at thinkmediamastermind.com. So click the link in the description below, or go to thinkmediamastermind.com if you type that URL in. And then I've got a couple resources for you, but I also want to ask you if you have any specific tactical YouTube questions about YouTube, about the 10 threats or the 5 shifts that we just covered, or if you have any questions about the mastermind. Because again, this is a limited event. And so let me know if you want to know specifics about what we cover and what's happening at the mastermind. And while you're posting your questions, put 4 question marks before and after your question. And Victoria can help me star those, and I will answer those over the next 18 minutes. And then we do have the opportunity, if you want to jump on Zoom, with our team, we'd love to talk to you. Now, I also promised you a couple of cool things. And so let me give you a chance to really grab these. First of all, if you want to download the free report we created, I spent about 30 hours putting this thing together. It's not fluff. It's dense like this training, but it's like, yo, we're giving you battle plans. We're giving you a playbook. So it's called The Future of YouTube, 12 Threats to Your Growth in 2026, and there's strategic shifts you must make now. So it's more expansive than this class. And there's also more shifts than we covered. I tried to make this class, like short. And so as we are here at minute 96, that didn't work, but whatever. So scan that QR code and download your free report. I believe it'll take you to a Google Doc. You can always say save. You can say like make copy or save it, or just save that link, but save that to later to read through that. And then scan the QR code on the right side of the screen to apply for the Think Media Mastermind. It's coming up May 7th through the 8th, 2026, Las Vegas, Nevada. We do it at the video department. You could stay anywhere you want, but there's a really cool Durango hotel right there. It's all about 15 minutes from the airport. One of the nights, there's a cool networking party where we're just hanging out. There's food included. There's a coffee cart. It's a cool experience. The venue is incredible. And then there's all kinds of different hotel options. We'd be happy to answer all your questions about that. But the final things to do is, number one, ask me your question about anything. 4 question marks before and after your question about YouTube or about the mastermind. Number 2, get your free report with the QR code on the left. Number 3, apply for the mastermind. If you're ready to be in a room of serious creators and entrepreneurs, it's happening May 7th through the 8th in Las Vegas. Hit the QR code, fill out your information. We'll be in touch. And again, it's not for everybody because it is a curated room of individuals. So that's why you're applying, is just so we can make sure it's a good fit, which, side note, you're going to love that, because even the person you're sitting next to, of course, the value is being there with me, being there with the team, the frameworks, the AI tools. Well, we get into circles, y'all. We do work. Relationships are happening. Networking is happening. It's such a cool event. And so just scan the QR code, and I think it'll take you to a page where you also can see a video. You can fill out the application. And then with that, I'll leave this up like this. Let me bring Victoria up. Victoria, before some questions, anything else we need to hit announcements wise?
Only other things was the Zoom office hours you mentioned. I'll be dropping that link in the chat. So keep an eye as it gets closer to 4 o'clock. Our team won't be opening it until 4 p.m. Pacific time. And so that will be there, but I just dropped the link as well for the report. You can go ahead and click there if that's easier for you as well.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So the link to the report is in the chat. And then we'll actually let's do Q&A for, I think you could call it 25 minutes, because then that'll give anyone a chance here. Not only can we hang out and do this live, but we can let people in the chat get a link if you want to join us in Zoom. And we would love to talk to you over there as well about the mastermind or anything else we're doing here at Think Media, here to help. I can go past 4 as well, Victoria. So I'm ready to rip. And so what's our first question?
Cool. I have one. I'll pull it up here. Is there such a thing as over planning? Like if you make 5 videos in advance and post it a week to see how it goes and to lower your stress?
Okay. So is there such a thing as over planning? Yes. I think, a lot of things in life are not problems to be solved. They're tensions to be managed. What does that mean? Like we look for binary answers. We look for black and white answers when things are tensions. Some people overplan or get stuck in analysis paralysis or perfectionism. Some people underplan. They should be planning a lot more. It's trying to find the tension in between. If it's talking about over planning in terms of shooting videos ahead of time, I don't think that's bad. I think batch producing, shooting videos in advance, scheduling them, and then letting them upload so you have lower stress, that's not a bad thing. That's a smart thing. And if anything that makes this sustainable for you is healthy. So if it's lowering your stress, it's a good idea. Here's my caution. I'm actually a big proponent of like a both strategy. And here's what I mean. I think a lot of creators should batch produce content more often, shoot whenever possible, weeks ahead, and schedule their uploads. And at the same time, should react and make videos in response to inspiration or trending events. Because what you miss out on if you schedule too far out in advance is you miss out on real-time responses where there's insane amounts of views that can happen when things are fresh. So it could look like this. You make 5 videos in advance, you schedule them, your stress is low. You're like, I'm ahead right now. I don't got to film for a while. But remember earlier in the class when I was like, maybe you're watching the news or maybe there's a new announcement from a vendor, a brand, a gaming company, you know, there's something to jump on. If you feel it, you're like, gosh, darn it. Like if I should talk about that like now. It's like you should change your plans. It should be like, depending on the quality of trust and amount of investment you've made in your relationship. Have you heard about relationships or like bank accounts? You make deposits and withdrawals. Like, honey, I know it's going to be a date night, but like, honestly, some news broke. I should probably make a video tonight. Now, again, that's between you and your partner. You know what I mean? And maybe that's going to be, you're like, that would never work. But like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's do it tomorrow night. You're right. Because you jumping on something when you feel it or when it's smart. So that's my thought. You could like overshoot or over optimize. And some people make it like they brag. They're like, I shoot 6 months of content. I do like 3 days of shooting for 6 months. Okay. I mean, if it works, but what can happen is you get too far out of touch. And some content is evergreen. So it's like both like good, solid, valuable videos on your content posted out for a while. It's awesome. But if you want to feel fresh and relevant, the only way to be fresh and relevant is to truly be fresh and relevant. If you took a shower 2 weeks ago, it's not working today, bro. The only way to be fresh today is to take a shower today. So the only way to hit really fresh content, hot off the presses onto YouTube, is to make content that's fresh, hot off. Anyway, so I think I've belabored the point. Yeah, keep your stress low, use systems, but also do both. Like when it's time to react to some content or to something that just happened, the growth opportunities are wild when you hit the right story at the right time in the right video. So be ready. Back to you, Victoria.
We have another question from Sue. I do AI thumbnails and have been using the new YouTube automated thumbnail. I am not that creative visually. Any other thoughts or suggestions for how to improve my thumbnails?
Yeah, so I think here's the hack, Sue. I've seen YouTube's thumbnails. I don't love them. You could see how they're working. Two, I'm not that creative visually. Respect. That's good self-awareness. Let me give you a quote. It might offend some people, but it's just true. I think it's snowing outside. It's like sleet. It's like mixed with snow and rain. Pablo Picasso said this: good artists copy, great artists steal. Steve Jobs is famous, the founder of Apple, or one of the founders, of quoting Pablo Picasso and saying, good artists copy, great artists steal. And he said, we've never been ashamed or hesitant to take the best ideas and the best concepts and the best inspiration from divergent places and put those into our products at Apple. iPod, iPhone, iMac, like lists all the products. And so here's what I'm encouraging you to do. I think where all of us get uncomfortable is plagiarism or like ridiculous and YouTube can just feel like a constant cycle of people just copying each other, copying formats, copying thumbnails. And that's a tension to be managed. Like, yeah, it can go too far extreme, or there's no originality, or literally you just like word for like that. It happened. People word for word copy people's scripts because you could download the script. That's insanity to me. I'm almost like you could do a better job at being a thief. Like you could just have AI spin it for you. Like, what are you doing? Just funny. So I am not suggesting plagiarism, although God gave you eyes, you should plagiarize. It's so stupid. I heard the pastor say that. Probably wasn't a very good pastor. And his point was, again, like, if I hear some other pastor preach a good sermon, did the heavy lifting for me, I'm going to preach that this week in my church. That's, I think, attention to be managed. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. Get inspired. But listen, if all you are is a copy, just to, hit both sides, people will get that. They'll notice that, or like it won't necessarily work. So it's attention to be managed. This is where I'm going for, Sue, is success leaves clues. And what do I actually mean? Do you want to know where the answer to good thumbnails is, even if you're not creatively visual? The answer to good thumbnails is already on YouTube. Like, you can go search your topics, your niche, even better, because actually sometimes certain industries get away with horrendous thumbnails. You can go study the platform. Here's some good homework for all of us. 2026, become a student again. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir. You're literally on a live stream, but of like education. But like, I mean, become a student of YouTube. Like, watch more YouTube, but watch it differently. Like, shift your perspective starting immediately. Start exploring YouTube. Start taking more screenshots of YouTube. Start taking more screenshots of thumbnails. Create either a folder on your computer or on Dropbox, or create a Google Doc where you screenshot the thumbnail and you put the thumbnail there, and start capturing inspiration constantly. There's your answer, Sue, is you don't need to be creative visually. What thumbnails do you like? And if you constantly do this as a habit, then when you sit down looking for creativity, you'll just open up your folder or your Google Doc and you've put a bunch of inspiration in there. Now, this is where things get interesting. AI is so ridiculous that you can actually upload somebody else's thumbnail and then say, put me in it. And if you get good at prompting and you use the right tool, it makes it perfect. And by the way, it just made it original. Like, the other guy was like doing this and I'm like, put me in it. And now me in this like navy hat and suit jacket, dressed up a little bit for today's, now I'm in the picture. And it's so good artist copy, great artist still. If it's a proven thumbnail, you can use a lot of elements from other people's thumbnails. To end the debate, and I'm not trying to like placate haters, I think you need to spin and make things like originally yours. And by spinning it, that means, okay, clearly your likeness is going to be different. You know what I mean? Your likeness, maybe the colorways, but all of that's promptable. So in summary, create an inspiration folder or Google Doc of thumbnails, study outliers, study the other thumbnails out there. Ooh, be like, I love that. I like that one. I like that one. Use AI. You can insert yourself into it. Design will do the heavy lifting. You can change the colorways. You can change the lighting dynamics. You can change the background elements. You can also just not do any of the above. You could use a smartphone, take a photo, but AI can enhance the photo. It can make the lighting better. It can make it punch more. It can make the contrast. AI is going crazy. So even if you're not creative visually, the answers are already on there. They're in YouTube. The winners are already on there, and success leaves clues. That's how I would improve my thumbnails. I'm not recommending, I didn't say the quote. All I'm saying is good artists copy, great artists steal. But I don't think that means plagiarism. It means getting inspired from the greats and then making it your own. One other little book recommendation, if we want to put it in the description, Victoria, you can grab an affiliate link for me. It's a great book that every YouTuber should read. It's called Steal Like an Artist. And it really will try to capture what I'm saying here. I think we get stuck in these ruts of like, I don't want to copy people. Well, Steal Like an Artist. 10 things nobody told you about being creative. This is one of the most fun books. It's 160 pages, but the pages are like that. Like, this is a page, Is this worth stealing? Yes, no. Move on to the next thing. How to look at the world like an artist. Blah, blah, blah. It's a really cool book. Might sound like having it as a coffee table book. Steal Like an Artist. We'll drop the link in the description as well. Affiliate link. And man, it's a good book for like getting some fresh creativity, some fresh ideas for your YouTube channel. And it kind of, you could even see that book's title is based off the Pablo Picasso quote. So whatever, back to you, Victoria.
All right, next question we have. is, does auto dubbing take away from in-county views?
Sorry, I just had to. We'll get to that in a second. But thank you for this. That's a good backup. Sam Walton. Most everything I've done, I've copied from someone else. Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, he was known, like he'd be going through a tour of a grocery store in like another country, and he brought a tape measure. They're like, what's he doing? He'd like walk away from the group, measure the tape distance between the two aisles, and then if he got an insight, he'd be like, okay, I'm doing that at Walmart. I'm stealing that idea. But that's what's fascinating. Is your personal brand's the only differentiator left. At the end of the day, like Walmart, love them or hate them, is still going to be different than such and such store. And so if you steal, this is why you could steal like a show format. I don't do it anymore, but on my podcast, I used to do a lightning round. Back when we did video influencers, we always did the lightning round. I stole the lightning round from John Lee Dumas, Entrepreneur on Fire. He's like, welcome to the lightning round. I'm like, that's so cool. But I'd say lightning rounds are great. Quick tips, entertaining for the audience, makes your show more interesting. Stole it from John Lee Dumas. My show got better. So you could like, it's elements of the video. So anyways, I know we're harping on that point. Okay, back to you. What's that next question?
Okay. Does auto dubbing take away from, it says in county views, but I think it's country.
You bring up a good point. I don't know. You tell me. Here's what I can tell you. I don't have answers. I have questions. In December, Neil Mohan, CEO of YouTube, said that I believe it was like 10 million viewers consumed at least 10 minutes of auto dub content. Some kind of stat like that. And two things about the stat. One, I was like, okay, it's working, it's happening. And yeah, consuming at least 10 minutes, it's a good metric of an entire video in auto dubbed. What YouTube does, what is auto dub? YouTube right now, based on AI, will literally, you'll be talking in another language and it's like really good. But one of the things I noticed about the stat is I was like, well, 10 million is kind of a lot of people, but that's not that many people. Like that's, as far as adoption, I'm like, you have 2.7 billion monthly active users. I'm not invalidating the milestone. This is all very new, but here's my takeaways. It's very new. So I would say generally, we don't really know. There's people who are testing it. Some people are like, is this hurting my views, my other views? My guess is no. It's not going to hurt your US views. It just gives your content a chance to be viewed in other countries and in other languages. Some people are saying it's going to drive your RPM down. That's true. Because if somebody is watching it and advertisers don't want to get in front of that language, etc. But this is a good debate. What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, it drives your RPM down, but you still made more money, would be the thesis. It's like, okay, yeah, because now a global audience, and here's what RPM is. It's the amount of money you make per 1,000 views. RPMs in the United States are radically higher than RPMs in a more like niche country. So if somebody's watching your auto dub content in a different country and YouTube pays ads for that video, they might pay you $5. They might pay, like some of our CPMs, CPM, RPM, it's two different things, doesn't matter. Some of our CPMs are $25, $50. We've had like $70 CPMs. In a niche country, it might be 70 cents. So if you blend the numbers, that would pull down your overall income, RPM, CPM, but you still make macro more money if your views weren't affected, because you still got the US views for the, call it $10 CPM, and then you still got the additional views from somebody who doesn't speak English for 70 cents. However, I'm not making any conclusions here. I'm saying that these are all the questions people are asking. Okay, if I turn on auto dubbing, how does that affect things? Does it affect it? Am I noticing trends of anything else that's happening? And then let me give you one final thought. I relate with the fact that YouTube can mess up and YouTube can break things and YouTube can make mistakes and YouTube can do things that are very frustrating. YouTube Shorts can, disrupt views and, whatever, algorithms can change. So could auto dubbing content, like, if you will, be harmful? It's possible. But I would argue in the short term, meaning YouTube doesn't want their product. What is their product? Their entire platform and every feature of their platform. They don't want they don't want the platform to suck. They don't want feature. They're not in this to show you that you're unhappy, you make less money, your channel's destroyed. They're in it to make advertisers happy, to help the creator ecosystem thrive, to make viewers happy. So it's just so new. That's the big idea. Like, it's new. And I think it's a great opportunity. And I think you should be experimenting. And I think the future is bright. And I think there's bugs in new products, and bugs get worked out. One of the famous launched video games, Cyberpunk 2077, was known to launch at a horrendous experience with bugs everywhere, terrible, people offended, dramatic, gamer news YouTubers making money off the controversy. Fast forward to today, and Cyberpunk 2077 is crushing on the Nintendo Switch handheld. It took them 5 years, to fix it and get it, working and all this other stuff. Okay. Interesting. For whatever the illustration is worth, Victoria, I would say that that's what I think is going to happen with the AI dubbing. I think it's really awesome. I think it's here now. I think it's still being studied, and I think it will actually only get better. And the final takeaway on this point is, I think what we should be doing if we remain students of the game, we need to be staying in it and experimenting and trying things. Because if we sit on the sidelines too much, afraid of experimentation, we miss opportunities. It's like when you start getting ready now, you have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years of a head start over the person who was well, let me wait to see how things work, as opposed to the person who just jumps in, tries it. Oh, if something's not working, pivot, learn as you go. All of a sudden something might flip, and you're an expert at it. You're dude, I'm crushing. Oh, wow, YouTube's algorithm changed. They're really helping channels. Embrace new features. Test everything, but embrace new features. Okay, Victoria, I do know that I think it's open. We can hit maybe a couple more questions for a few more minutes, but we have office hours. So what's happening?
Right. I will be dropping the link in here for anyone who wants to go in. Keith is going to be in there from our team. Now, Keith is not one of our coaches, and this is not a coaching call. This is for anyone who has questions regarding Mastermind or honestly anything that you might want to know about what Think Media offers and things like that. I'm just trying to see what's a good fit for you, and what if you are interested in actually coming in person to Las Vegas with us, we would love to have you. So I will go ahead and just post this right now, and you can hop in there with Keith. He'll be in there for about the next hour.
Yeah. And so to be clear, I'll put this on screen. It will make no sense to you, but you could see that Think Media TV YouTube channel just posted a Zoom link. That's not like a spam or anything. That's a real Zoom link where Keith on our team is right now. He's just there to talk about anybody of what you see on screen. If you're hey, I love this class, I'd love to talk to one of your team members and learn about what exactly is going to happen in about 2 months in Las Vegas. We're hosting a 2-day event. We could tell you about the curriculum, tell you about everything you get, answer all your questions. So to jump in those office hours, a real Zoom room. I know it's you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want, but Keith is a really nice guy, and he's there to talk to you right now. We'll stay on here a few more minutes, but click that link that's in the chat right now, and that'll take you over to that Zoom room where you could talk to Keith and have some office hours. There he is, Keith, on the Think Media team. Come hang out with me. So if you click that link, Keith will be there, happy to answer any questions you have about the Think Media Mastermind, our 2-day event that's coming up in Vegas. Victoria, what's our next question?
Next question is there a trick to doing React videos without hitting copyright? I tried this for the first time and immediately the video got blocked.
Yeah. Can you tell me how you did it? Because I'd love to know, and then we could come back to your question. So did you picture in picture? Did you react to the whole thing? Did you add a lot of commentary? And then what brand specifically? Like there are some like UFC, for example, is like notorious of like cracking down. Other brands are like, please, steal our stuff or promote our stuff. So give us a little context, and then I do have best practices for you, but give me some context first. Let's come back to that if he's still here and responds, and let's hit the next question.
Another question. No, I wanted to know what AI software we are using.
Yeah. So, if you look across our whole company, how many credit card charges we have a month across our whole company of something that would qualify as AI, there's probably 20 things. And whether that's, paid chat GPT, whether that's Autopod, not relevant for a lot of people, but like if you have a multi-camera shoot, it's crazy. Autopod's like, what used to take 3 hours of editing takes 3 minutes. It's a tool we buy. Riverside is what we record our podcasts on. We just recorded all morning on Nathan and I did some new Think Media podcasts. He's in Nashville, I'm in Seattle. And Riverside is like a podcast recording tool, but it's packed with AI tools like magic clips, magic editing, like AI based on the script, cut out your ums. So a lot. I think that's like the big, and then we also create our own tools. So meaning like custom GPTs that are private, that are just for our students and stuff, which is interesting. So yeah, that would be a few thoughts, but that's a good topic for like, I should do a stack, Victoria, if we hit another question, because it's like a lot. And I'm actually, after talking for over 99 minutes and shooting with Nathan for 3 hours this morning, I can't think barely, but I can answer probably a couple more questions and hit one more sip of coffee. But yeah, that would be a cool episode. I should do a full AI stack of what we do at Think Media.
That would be good. Next question. I would love to know more about the future of using YouTube Live. Is this a strategy we should consider, especially if we sell digital products or are a service business?
Yeah, I think so. What's fascinating is like, okay, this is actually a YouTube Live. We sometimes do free classes and webinars and stuff that are private. Sometimes we'll let them stream on our channel. Ultimately, if you thought about something, we have to. The only thing is this mastermind is the thing like we're promoting today, which we're just letting you know you can apply, right? And for example, and so it's kind of a meta example of doing a live stream. That's a webinar. That's a class that also then just lets you know that, yeah, if you want to go deeper with us and hang out in person and really get your YouTube strategy locked in, you can apply at thinkmediamastermind.com. So this is YouTube Live, to be clear. So yes, should you do it? I think you should. You also could consider launching a show. I actually am excited to get back to this. Been a busy season, but I used to have a show called Coffee with Cannell, where we'd bring a guest on. This software that we're using is called StreamYard. It's one of our favorite softwares that allows me, to do things like share my deck, like I'm doing right here, very easily, bring Victoria on. So on Coffee with Cannell, we would share the link to the studio and I would actually do some coaching live. I'm going to bring it back someday, but just working through some different things in our company and seasons, but it's one of my favorite shows. So the idea of like launching some kind of a live show, some kind of a format, this example here, I'll do these longer form classes. But I think what's also interesting is that like Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time has a video podcast. And what does that mean? It's called the Daily Financial News. It's 10 to 20 minutes a day. And it's a live stream first. Let's look at it. So he does like a live stream. There you go. Streamed 8 hours ago. And here's yesterday's. Streamed 1 day ago. Here's the day before, streamed 2 days ago. 3,000 views, 2,000 views, 2,000 views, replay, whatever. Let's click on it. Okay. So he clicks go live. He's using StreamYard. He clicks go live. He's like, all right, welcome to the daily financial news. Delivers his daily financial news, talking head. He's reading his notes. Michael, I need to text him and be like, why are you not hardlined? I feel like I'm sure his internet's better than this, but Wi-Fi router sometimes there's no reason he should look like a Minecraft character. And by the way, Michael's a friend. I'm not putting, this is proof that depending on the content, even if you look like a Minecraft character, you can still get 1,966 views so far and, build a baseline of a show. Because the reason people watch it, I watch this show because Michael researches for an hour every morning while he's sipping his coffee, writes the 5 to 7 things you need to know, and tells me the important stuff in 13 minutes. What's my point? It's a YouTube live, turns it on, turns it off. It says peace at the end. It's over. And then actually he strips off the audio and then basically the YouTube live stream podcast is living on YouTube. But then he has a one rental at a time podcast on Spotify and Apple. So I don't know if this is where you wanted me to take the question, but just kind of breaking down some different ways to think about things over here on Spotify. He's got these episodes uploaded and it's like a benefit extension. He's got 4.3 stars, 63 reviews over here on Spotify. So I don't remember the original question, but like, what is the future of YouTube Live? Bright. I think this brings us back to the question: this is the kind of decisions or things we talk about at our mastermind? Is like, what are you even doing? You might think you know your strategy, maybe you do, but it's like, what's your strategy? Like, let's zoom out. What's your brand? What's your brand strategy? What's your unique positioning? What's your show format? What's going to fit best for you? Should you be doing a daily 13-minute live stream, and repurposing it? Or does that like a horrible idea for your niche? It's kind of the power of having that in-person personalized coaching is because all of our situations, we want to play to your strengths, your uniqueness, your business model, what's sustainable for you. And so that's why our event is different than anything else, is because it's high touch. It's high experience. It's like we're talking face to face. It's like, show me your YouTube channel on your phone and make sure you have the YouTube Studio app downloaded. And like, let's get into your analytics right now. It's like our coach is doing with you over coffee in the lobby. Like, it's really cool. So that's my answer to the live stream question. I also would love to know, Victoria, we could probably do 1 or 2 more questions here. Can we still do the office hours? Keith still available?
Yeah, Keith will be on for like another 45 minutes. So once we wrap up here, he will still be available. So if you want to get in there and talk to him, the mastermind, we do require applications. But if you go and talk to Keith, he might be able to help you get the process going a little faster, which would be nice for people when you get stuck waiting after an application. You get to skip right through that and talk to Keith.
Can you post this link again? So post the link again, because
Yes.
I know live chat has pushed this down. It's not helpful to put it on screen. All you got to do is just look on screen and type that in. Just type in USO2 web time.
I know.
Okay, so we'll hit this link as we speak. Again, you would be jumping off this live stream, but you'd be jumping over to Zoom. You can meet Keith on our team, and he would love to chat with you if you want to learn a little bit more about our mastermind event, 2-day event that's coming up. And so in the live chat, click that link, jump into the Zoom room, chat with Keith. He'd love to answer your questions, learn more about you. What's your channel? What's your goals? And help you get some clarity on even your next steps on YouTube. Okay, Victoria, what's the next question?
Sure. We have this one. My click-through rate is between 6 and 9% in my latest videos, and the time viewed is good, but I'm not getting loads of views. Does SEO play a large part in people finding my channel?
It's a layered question. So, okay, let's talk about things at a couple stages here. Step 1, click-through rate is not the full story. Click-through rate is good, but actually what's fascinating is sometimes smaller channels with more niche audiences can be like, Sean, my click-through rate is 33%. Shouldn't this be a viral video? And you're like, okay, well, hang on, because that's freaking crazy. That's remarkable. But you also want to be asking yourself, I mean, you are saying that my latest video is 6 to 9%. The time viewed is good. My question would be, how good? How many people are still watching at 30 seconds? Like, what's the drop off when they click on the video? And it tells you that immediately right in your YouTube analytics. What is your average view duration, average percentage viewed in your average view duration? Minutes minus most. Are you getting 5 minutes of average view duration? 10? Like, I don't know how long your content is, but it's going to be a combination of those two things. But let me introduce the third thing. The third thing is broad appeal or size of the niche. So what can happen is in some sense, in some cases, you could be like a big fish in a small pond. Meaning when you post a video on YouTube, here's how it works. You upload a video, and even if you start from scratch, YouTube's going to give you some impressions, and they're going to wonder, does anyone click on that or does anyone watch it? Once you have subscribers, it's going to show it to some of your subscribers. And that's why YouTube will tell you in text in your analytics. It'll be like, this video is appealing to a larger than normal percentage of your subscribers. And that's why we're recommending it to other people. So it starts as a small circle. And then what happens is if it performs with good click-through rate and watch time, it gets shown to a wider circle. And if it keeps performing, this is also what happens. This is actually why like high click-through rate isn't necessarily a good thing, because what will happen is click-through rate will get dramatically driven down as your audience expands. Meaning you'd be like, Sean, because you could say, I got a 9% click-through rate on my video, but the views stopped. And I would tell you, I've got a 2% click-through rate on a video that has 1 million views. Because the video has been shown to so many people, yet it has the durability and resilience to still get clicked on by 2% of people. And those people that click on it, as the YouTube algorithm really starts to understand people, give it an average view duration of 13 minutes. So YouTube's like, that's pretty good. Like we're going to give this video impressions at a high level. At this point, only 2% of people click on it, but the average view duration is 13 minutes of that. And how broad appeal is the topic itself? Now, I'm looking at your health. Looks like it's your channel looks like a health channel based on the title, you know. And I'm sure actually probably a lot of people could relate to maybe the whatever you're talking about. But this gets into packaging, and I would land the plane saying this. You know, keep those numbers good, but remember one of our shifts was master packaging or get ignored. Before title, before thumbnail is topic itself, and having a broad appeal enough. I don't mean like so broad appeal that it's no longer related to your brand, but a lot of people need to move up in the broad appeal level of their content. Meaning as broader and broader and broader audiences would be interested in this that are still like related to your channel. And that's where the pond gets bigger, if that makes sense. Like the amount of people who could be interested in it is bigger. And then to that point, if your video is durable, meaning if you hold 6% click-through rate and good watch time, as YouTube is expanding the amount of people it's showing to, and the truth is videos can drop off for different reasons. One could be that broad appeal, in a way, saturation of the topic. And it's not like YouTube showed it to everybody, but those are the back-end metrics. Part two of your question. Does SEO play a large part in people finding my channel? Yes. And in 2026, I think the problem is SEO is misunderstood. So here's my 2026 definition of SEO. It's search engine optimization is what SEO stands for. Okay. Let me clarify. Do like YouTube tags play a big part in people finding your channel in 2026? No. But does optimizing your video to be discovered by doing smart research play a big part in people finding your channel in 2026? Yes. Keyword research, topic research, trend research, how you title your videos, what you say in your videos, time codes and chapters, understanding your audience, understanding the algorithm, keywords, speaking to searchable terms, speaking to identities. SEO plays a big part. The point is it's modern SEO. Like it's the new school of SEO. Now, I don't know if this video will be easy to find, but we will make sure we link it in the description. And I don't think it'll be able to be found quickly. Actually, I could probably show you on screen, and it probably will be able to be found somewhat quickly. I got homework for you. You want to master SEO in 2026? Sure. Okay, cool. I do have a 2026 update on it, deep dive. And it's called How YouTube Works, AI, SEO, and the New Rules. It's 27 minutes long. And I would watch this video right after this video. And it's called How YouTube Works, AI, SEO, and the New Rules. And I just posted the link so you could save that for later in the live chat. And then Victoria, if you could help make sure that gets in the YouTube description. That's what I would do. And yeah, how do I get discovered? That's the question we'll answer for you. What should I do? How do I optimize my videos, etc.? Hope that was helpful. Victoria, where are we headed next?
Next, do you want to do one more question? Or you want to wrap up?
I'll do another one. We can wrap up in the next 6 minutes.
Okay, let's do it. Since you're at 2.5 hours in at this point.
You know, whatever. Let me count the 10-minute countdown. We'll have been live for 10 minutes. This was supposed to be 60 minutes, right? Or whatever. We'll see. We're close.
I know. You need a break though.
As we land the plane, as we're circling the tarmac, as we're taxiing to the gate, I'm ready to answer one more question.
Okay, cool. Let's do this one. I thought it was an interesting one that most people probably don't touch on is, do you ever make a video while you're sick or like when things are just not going well for you?
Well, if you want to connect on Instagram, that's like, why is he bringing that up? It's interesting. Side note, I'm on Instagram if you want to follow me over there, Sean Cannell. But this is crazy. This actually just happened. So recently, you want to talk about being sick? I actually just recently spent 48 hours in the hospital. I had emergency surgery. I spent 7 hours in the waiting room in 10/10 pain. I actually want to move this. I want to, even though it's a little bit older. I mean, this happened just 10 days ago, but I'm going to do a community tab post about it. I just haven't got around to it. It was crazy. I was in the hospital for a couple of days, emergency surgery. I'm wearing Depends diapers as we speak, actually. Is that TMI, Victoria? TMI stands for tell me now.
Tell me immediately.
Tell me immediately. Oh yeah, TMI. Tell me immediately. I had some tubes in my body draining out, and then they removed the tubes, and there's still some stuff draining out, and I'll be better soon. And we had a recent Think Media Mastermind that was actually ran by our team because I was in emergency surgery and it crushed and people loved it. So do you ever make a video when you're sick? Well, I didn't film a video while I was in the hospital. That's thing one. I guess my answer is like, I think you should give yourself permission to go through the seasons of life, and getting sick, going to the hospital, chronic illness, different things can happen. Like, it's your race, your pace. So if you need to take a break, take a break. I think consistency, I have to post every week. No, dude, you're sick, dude. Take a week off. Like, relax. It's going to be all right. Christina Patterson, this is also why we're obsessed with ranking videos. Because what is a ranked video? Someone asked earlier too, I'm not familiar with what evergreen means. What evergreen means and what a ranked video is a video you post today that's still being viewed for weeks, months, and years to come. It's the obsession of Think Media. That's why our core online course is called Video Ranking Academy. And Christina Patterson, one of our students, said 1 year she had a chronic illness thing, And it actually got so bad she could only post 12 videos the entire year. And for us that want to do it weekly, that's a very low number, because she's like, yeah, just I was hit with some life, some kid stuff, some health challenges. Footnote, her channel grew 10,000 subscribers in the year she posted her fewest videos because she had ranked videos. That's a separate conversation, but I guess it's why I would actually say the reason I love YouTube is because if you get sick and you have been ranking videos for a few years, your channel's getting views while you're in the hospital. That was what was happening for me. Like our podcast channel gets 600 views every 60 minutes while I was in surgery. I'm not trying to like overemphasize. That's just true. Like, it's like, man, Sean's really milking his surgery. Like, I mean, it actually gives me a level of peace of mind. I'm literally like, dang it. You know, this is a setback. I'm feeling discouraged. Thank God I got ranked videos. Do I ever post videos when I'm sick? Yeah, I work when I'm sick sometimes. I mean, it just depends on the level. Dayquil, you know, like Dayquil, coffee, rest. So I think it's about self-awareness and rhythms. You know, burning out is not a good idea. So if you know, I heard this profound quote about health and sustainability on YouTube. And it posed the question, what should you do when you're tired? Rest. Thank you, everybody, here for profound ideas. Thanks for coming today. It's kind of cheesy, but it's like literally, what should you do when you're tired? What should you do if your body's sick? Let your immune system recover, get hydrated, and take vitamins. Sorry, I'm answering this question. I don't know if it's valuable, but yeah. So do I work when I'm sick? Yeah. Is it sometimes when it's too much? Yeah. Do I play Nintendo Switch when I'm sick instead? Yeah. I just beat Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah. And I defeated all 4 divine beasts. I didn't go straight to Ganon. I got the Master Sword. Yes, I have more than 13 hearts. Yeah, my stamina wheel is stacked. Yeah, I also think I'm done. I don't care about 100%ing it. And yes, after Metroid Dread, I'm going to play Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. So yeah. And am I taking breaks from YouTube when I'm sick or recovering from surgery? I didn't film until this morning, for what it's worth. So my whole schedule got messed up. I mean, as it would. You're like, you probably should take more of a break, Sean. Hey, there's a low amount of bodily fluids. Freaking relax. Coming like at this moment, it actually is very low. Like these holes in my body are almost completely healed. I feel fine. My surgeon gave me permission to be doing this today. You're like, didn't you do a web class last year? Yeah, I mean, I did like one class. I did our cohort last Friday. So anyways, Sean demonstrating of how to put on diapers in 3 steps when you're in the hospital is an evergreen video. I agree. I mean, that's some transparency out here, and I'm excited. I don't need to wear diapers for the rest of my life. You know, maybe someday in a couple decades, I'll go back to them. But my hope, Victoria, in saying all that is like, I don't know, cut yourself some slack. If you need a break, take a break. On the flip side, if you have like a minor cold, that's like the way my dad raised me. I'm sick. He's like, you don't even have a fever. Yeah, I have the sniffles. It's up to you, but I think you could be maybe too soft. You could be too hard. Those are the tensions of life. Yes, I've made videos when I'm sick. Back to you, Victoria. We're at the top of the hour. We could hit some things. So let's hit a couple final roll call on some of the stuff today. Shout out to 153 people with us. And let me ask for one heartfelt question, because I just got out of the hospital. Like just milking it. If you care about me at all, hit the like button. Like just guilt. Here's me playing Switch 2 in the hospital. Side note, big brain strategy. Like I knew I was in such ridiculous pain that I was like, this is probably pretty bad. And I drove to the ER at 2 a.m. in the morning when I finally went. But I took enough time to slow down, and I was like, what would I wish I had in the ER? So I brought some drinks, because I was going to fast in case I needed surgery. I thought it was pretty bad. So I knew I needed surgery. I was like, I should probably start fasting now. That'll help me get in sooner. Brought some drinks, blanket, and a Switch 2. And so make the most of it. I'm playing Breath of the Wild as I'm recovering. Like other people being like, dang it, I wish I had a Switch 2 right now. 7-hour waiting room in the ER waiting room is outrageous, but it's better if you've got Zelda Breath of the Wild. Even if you're in 10/10 pain and absolutely just dying there. I had shivers too. I was like, they said I was acutely ill. I was actually septic. I'm still playing Switch 2. I hope I get in soon. Okay. Where was I going with that? If you care, share this stream. Can you hit the share button on YouTube? Can you hit the like button? I'm trying to guilt you into, if I'm showing up wearing Depends, all right, relax. Then you could share this live stream out of gratitude, or at least hit the like button because we put a lot of work into this presentation today. That's thing number one. Thing number two, Victoria, I don't know if there's still office hours / the mastermind / anything else. And I want to put those QR codes up so people can get the free guide and everything else. So go for it.
Yes, I did drop this a few comments up. It's not that high up in the chat, but Keith is still there for about the next 30 minutes or so. If you guys want to pop on over and ask any questions about our mastermind or events coming up in May. And then, if you have those QR codes, you can go ahead and throw those up. Sean's getting
I mean, I don't know. Am I weird? Amanda's like, you drove to... You didn't get like help? Yeah, no, I don't know. I just drove myself.
I've driven to the ER. I don't know. Is that not normal?
I wasn't like about to I wasn't like about to pass out. I was in horrendous pain. When I say 10 out of 10, like I probably have a pretty high pain threshold. That's the accurate math. I've never been in like more consistent pain. Multiply that by then also getting to the AER and waiting 7 more hours. Wasn't super fun. But anyways, drove to the ER. Yeah, I drove myself to the ER. Okay, so we have office hours. I like switching topics. We got office hours for another 34 minutes. So Keith, if you want to talk about the mastermind, so here's also a couple things you could do. One, if you're just jumping on the class, you might be like, what are these guys talking about? Watch the replay. We're 2 hours and 40 minutes into a super deep dive class. Now, if you want to see the report that this class is based on, you can get it for free by scanning the QR code in the red that says get the free report. For about 27 pages, I put 30 hours into this report of research, the stuff we're doing, what's working at Think Media, and we cover the 12 threats to your growth in 2026 and it's actually 15 strategic shifts. So there's quite a bit of content in there that you must make now to get views. That's free. So you can scan the QR code there. And then if you even just want to explore the possibility of joining us in Vegas for a 2-day event called the Think Media YouTube Mastermind, scan the QR code in the blue, fill that out. Or if you actually want to ask some questions and get face-to-face with one of our team members, you can jump into office hours for the next few minutes. Just click the Zoom link that is going to be posted in the YouTube chat, and Victoria is going to post it one more time. By the way, y'all, thanks for all of this love on liking. You're welcome, Beth. I appreciate you. Thank you, Susan, for liking and sharing and all of that stuff. And hey, thanks, Patty, for following me on Instagram. Excited to connect more over there. Susan, thank you for the love and appreciate the well wishes. Wild journey. I hadn't really done the math, Victoria, realizing that maybe it wasn't March 1st that I think I posted a few days after because I was not thinking clearly
Right.
on March 1st. So I think I was actually in the hospital.
March 1st was a Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. So it was the Tuesday before March 1st. So that would have been February 24th at 2 a.m. I drove myself to the ER, checked in, and started playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. Side note, my friend later told me, because I'm in the Pacific Northwest, I went to Everett Hospital. I mean, no shade on Providence, but a little bit of shade because 7 hours is a long wait time. My friend Anthony was like, bro, you should have drove to Edmonds. He's right. He's like, this is way better. Providence Hospital ER at 2:30 a.m. in the morning is a roller coaster. I mean, the level of the security guards being involved with dudes with their shirt off, kind of going crazy. I thought I was going to get stabbed, cursing people out. That's a whole story for another time. And me I'm shaking. thinking like, dang, my Switch 2 is going to probably get stolen. And I can't fight well right now. I'm too weak.
You're too weak.
I'm too weak to fight. It's the whole story. So anyways, that happened from February 24th.
Yes.
Here I am a couple weeks later. I guess I bounced back pretty quick. Resilient. All right. So what are we talking about? Was that everything?
That's everything. You hit. Zoom is in the chat for anyone who wants to jump in. Last 20 minutes with Keith. And then the 2 QR codes that you put up on the screen to get the report and to apply for the mastermind. Red pill, blue pill vibes is what I'm getting with this. But take your pick and then
take both pills.
Yeah. Why not?
It's not really how the Matrix works, but we'll help you escape the Matrix either way. And shout out to Victoria. Can we just give it up for Victoria today? And Beth summarized it. Victoria, you are such a legend. She's right.
Thank you, Beth.
I appreciate you. Thanks for making such an impact on our team and Think Media for years now. So grateful for you. All right, y'all. So with that, listen, this might have felt like it went off the rails, but I've had a lot of fun with you for the last 2 hours and 43 minutes and 59 seconds. And so my name's Sean Cannell, your guide to building a profitable YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this class. If you're jumping on being like, what are you guys even talking about? Check out the limited replay. And in the meantime, keep crushing it, keep smashing it, and we will talk soon. Thanks for being here. Peace.